Okay, gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé ẹ káalẹ́ níbi tí ẹ bá ti ń gbọ́ wa tí ẹ ti ń wò wá. A káàbọ̀ sórí ètò náà. Àṣẹ mẹ́yìn bọ̀ lápò ni. Èmi ti sùn dáadáa o. Wàláhì. A lè gbé tílẹ̀ máa fi mọ́ níbi tí ẹ́ńjìn wà lára. Soldier no dey sleep. But sometimes soldier dey sleep o. Ọlọ́run, soldier dey sleep o. Mo ń bọ̀ mú tí ṣetán, ó kù díẹ̀. You're bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Remember that we can't we carry go. Or we get this closer, we get there, you sabi. You never know waiting we carry for body until you move closer, they go where you sabi. You will not do. Àṣìṣe fún inú bàbá wa. Àwọn sọ̀wọ́pọ̀ àjẹgúdúdú ẹ̀dá òdúdú ẹ̀mú wọn níbi wọn. Ìdúwà sì gbèrè. Àjẹrè ẹ̀rọ adúláwọ̀. Adé adúláwọ̀. Àwa ní wọlé òkàn káàkiri ìran tó ọdún wa. Koiki Media, àwa là ń gbèrò lárugẹ ètò tó bójú owó. tiwa mà ní. Wọ́n lọ́wọ́ ìgbàgbà pàtó ti bá yín jẹ ètò tó kójú owó tiwa mà ní. Ètò tó kójú owó tiwa mà ní. ọmọ sports ẹ̀mọ rí gbọ́ ètò tó kójú owó tiwa mà ní. Oníkì máa ń gbé kankan Koiki Media ọlọ́lọ́wọ́ ajímọ̀ mi máa bá ṣẹ́ ẹ lọ o. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà à ń gbádùn rẹ ìdí gbọ́ tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ọmọ nígbà máa wọ̀ igbó àjòjì tó má bọ̀bẹ̀ abẹ̀mẹ̀rẹ̀ bọ̀ra. Èyí lọ́mọ dábọ̀ òyìnbó tó dé òwúrọ̀ ajé gbígbọ́ Koiki Media ọlọ́lá. Mo kí gbogbo yín jàre yín tèmi. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kíra wa dáadáa, fàájì làkọ̀ wá ṣe lálẹ́. Presentation mi tí n bá ti ṣe software ṣe ti mọ̀ pé definitely fàájì làkọ̀ wá ṣe ni. Mo kí ẹ Comrade Plan B ṣóhùn mi ń jáde dáadáa jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ lórí MixLR. Comrade Plan B ni mo ṣe ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ lórí MixLR. Ṣàlàfíà ni my brother, all my comrades around the world. Àwa ti gbowó òòṣà òòṣà pè mí bí ẹ̀mẹ́ta la sọ̀rọ̀ léèní. Coordinator kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀? Mo ní gbogbo everything is okay bàbá àgbàlagbà. So ṣó ń dún dáadáa lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ Comrade Plan B, ṣó ń dún kékékéké, ṣójú ọ̀rọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lọ́ṣùn, àwọn ará Ọ̀ṣun máa ń bínú á ní Mr. Koiki ojoojúmọ́ dẹ̀ là ń wò yín ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ ń dárúkọ Ọ̀ṣun state ṣá ń bá yín jà ní. Mo nígbà tẹ́ fẹ́ kidnap mi níjọ́ ní tí mo wá sọ́ṣùn bí àtòrí ẹ̀wọ̀n ṣe ń dárúkọ yín àbẹ́yìn ti gbàgbé ni tí mo lọ sọnù nínú Ọ̀ṣun state lẹ́yìn tá a ṣe rálì Òṣogbo tán. Àṣerálì máa ń dùn. Mr. Kayode Busari ẹ̀yin tèmi lórí TikTok àlàáfíà mo wà. The sound is very fine. Comrade Plan B anytime wàláì tí bá ti dé Ìbàdàn àjọ máa lọ jàmàlà ni forget it. Àwọn kan ní ẹ má tẹ̀lé yẹn kọ́kọ́ lọ jàmàlà irọ́ ni. Ẹni bá fi nǹkan sínú oúnjẹ fún mi ẹ̀ ń tanra yín máa yà mọ́ gbẹ̀. Mo ṣe ń kí Comrade Plan B ní gbogbo ìlú Ìbàdàn bọ̀bùn wá máa kí àwọn ìlú Ọ̀yọ́ wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lọ́ṣùn náà. Wọ́n tẹ́ gbúrò bàbá mi kan ní Ìlá Ọ̀rọ̀gùn bàbá yẹn ò pè mí mọ́ lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta àmọ́ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ bọ̀ mo wà ṣọ́ọ̀kù definitely láyé wọn ní tẹ̀lé dúpẹ́ lọ. Ṣé ń gbọ́ mi dáadáa lórí Facebook àwọn Facebook kúkú ti ẹlòmíì ò tẹ̀ gba notification àmọ́ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ Facebook kàn bá wa jà ní over 500,000 followers èèyàn bí abí 100 ló wò wá lórí ẹ̀ èmi àti Facebook ẹ má bínú washing machine ò ní pẹ́ ṣe tán so now is my drop there a little bit ẹ mọ̀ pé a ti wà ní weekend mo dẹ̀ lè sọ fún ìyàwó mi kó má fọṣọ torí pé mi fi ṣe live video bí ti ṣe ń kí àwọn ìyàwó mi mo kí àmì dáadáa ìyá lálùbáríkà mo ì tí kẹ́hìn tẹ́wà lórí YouTube o mo ṣe ń kí àwọn tó wà nílé náà tí bá ti wá kí ní gbogbo Ọ̀ṣun ní gbogbo local government ẹ̀yin alágbára tẹ́wà ní gbogbo local government ẹ̀yin big boys gbogbo ẹ̀yin politician tẹ́wà lọ́ṣun state báwo ló ṣe ń lọ àbúrò yín náà ní Koiki Media ẹ ṣáà ti mọ bó ṣe ń lọ ẹ̀hàn pẹ́yìn náà lẹ́ni platform wa àwọ̀dẹ̀ ń ṣe nǹkan mí ju Yorùbá nation lọ so gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́wà lọ́ṣun gbogbo ẹ̀yin AP mo rántijọ́ táwọn ọmọ mi lọ ṣe rálì kan lọ́ṣun labatúrà àwọn kan àṣekòtẹ́ ń ṣe PDP àti APC nìkan ló wà ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá labatúrà àwọn kan náà làwọn náà tún ń ṣe rálì lọ́ba fẹ́ attack àwọn ọmọ yẹn láti bo síbo ẹ sọ fún ọ pé àwọn ọmọ ti gbowó ṣàlélẹ̀ ni Ìgbòho gbé rálì jáde pẹ̀lú bàbá Akintoye àti YSDM tó bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni justice for Mohbad kọ́lọ́njà rí justice fún so mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lọ́ṣun dáadáa gbogbo yín pátá ni mo kí wàláì sábà ti di pé gbogbo nǹkan bá settle down pátápátá ìjọkíjọ tó bá settle kò bá jẹ́ 10 years kò bá jẹ́ 20 years máa tọ́ gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kódà kí n ti dàgbà gan sef màá make sure pé mo tọ́ gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ mọ bó ṣe rí ni kíyàn wà lórí helicopter kíyàn máa wá ṣe documentary this is Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo ṣàlàyé fáwọn èèyàn this is Ìlá-Ọ̀rọ̀ Ògún mo ní láti lọ máa jí gbogbo local government yẹn wò ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ wo local government wo ló wà lọ́ṣun ó dà pọ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ni spirit mi wà lálẹ́ mo kí bàbá Akintoye àṣé bàbá yẹn gbọ́n àṣà àwọn copycat Ìgbòho ṣá Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kó ṣe o oríṣiríṣi mo kàn ń gbọ́ látàárọ̀ ibi tí mo ti ń gbọ́ ṣó yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ mo sùn lọ mo kàn ń gbọ́ ṣó yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ báyìí mo kàn ń wà lórí program ẹ̀ báyìí mo kàn ń gbọ́ nǹkan tó ń sọ mo ti gbọ́ Wálé Àdé náà ìyẹn máa sọ kábàkábà ẹ̀yin ará Ọ̀ṣun mo ṣe ń kí yín sẹ́ ẹ pọ̀ níbẹ̀ yẹn o local government tó wà lọ́ṣun máa pọ̀ kẹ́ kí ló dé wow 30 àbójú mi ló ń tàn mí ṣé pé local government tó pọ̀ ní Ọ̀ṣun ìyá mi gbémi lékè mú ṣe máa kí gbogbo yín dáadáa ọ̀la ní fundraising wọ ẹ má gbàgbé o bọ̀ lálẹ́ ń fẹ́ kí gbogbo yín dáadáa ẹ mọ̀ pé tí wọ́n bá máa gbowó lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn wá kí wọn properly ahead of time so mo ṣe máa kẹ́yìn ará Oǹdó ṣé wọ́n mọ̀ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni epo wà nílàjẹ fàájì làwa ṣe lálẹ́ yìí o so fàájì ni ẹ máa béèrè mí náà máa dá yín lóhùn so keep the comment coming ẹ jẹ́ move o mo fi máa rí big 60-inch screen mi Abdullahi mo ń bọ̀ ní Dubai lágbára Ọlọ́run bí a ní next year mo ń bọ̀ wá kí Abdullahi a jọ máa ṣeré káàkiri a lọ jẹun láwọn ibi tó ti ń jẹun nídùú ẹ jẹ́ ṣe dúró lórí Ọ̀ṣun náà 30 local government ló wà lọ́ṣun interesting wow gbogbo yín bàbá wa tẹ́ ń gbé tẹ́ pọ́mọ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ní a máa develop bẹ̀yẹn gan kí lórúkọ àwọn local government yẹn ń bọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kàkà gbogbo àwọn local ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tóbi o Ṣakérédolú tó Ondo state ló ń rẹ́rìn bàbá Kérédolú wọn náà fẹ́ yọ deputy ọmọ olúkà ti fọhùn lẹ̀ lánàá mo kẹ́yìn tẹ́wà lórí Instagram mo ṣe ń kí àwọn ará Ọ̀ṣun náà Ọ̀ṣun state bàbá mi Mojid Ibrahim ẹni Mr. Koiki well done kí ni mo ṣe mo ti sáàbù ìlú títí mo ń sáàbù ọmọ Yorùbá lọ́wọ́ ó dà ẹ ṣe gan ni sà mo kí ọmọ káàárọ̀ Friday David how you doing sir Akeem Ayọ̀délé mo kí mo ṣe kí ẹlẹ́ǹkan ṣiṣẹ́ comrade plan B tí bá ti dé ìlú Ìbàdàn the last time tí mo wá olóyè ní kí n má káàkiri kọ́ má bàa jí mi gbé but by the time tí a bá máa fi padà dé this time gbogbo nǹkan ti normal kò sẹ́ni tó máa fi jí mi gbé àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ní láti jí mi gbé náà ilé fẹ́ jí mi gbé fún a máa jọ máa ṣeré káàkiri níbi tí àlàáfíà àti gbogbo nǹkan máa dùn ẹ̀yin tí ìlú Oǹdó mo ṣe ń bọ̀ wá kí ìyá dáadáa ìyá mi gbé mi lékè àwọn gbogbo yín girama ẹ farabalẹ̀ fàájì làwa ṣe lálẹ́ inú night club làwa wà báyìí nísìn Alex Mamu ó ṣáà máa ń fi gẹ̀ yìí máa fi ń dẹ́rù bà mí wá ti wọnú program báyìí ìgẹ̀ yẹn ni kí ló dé kọ́lọ̀ fọ́run kí ọmọ tí wọ́n pa mo tún ṣe ń gbọ́ information pé kò ń ṣe ìyàwó mi náà tún confirm ẹ̀ lálẹ́ bó mo ti lórí Twitter girl tó kú yẹn wọn ló ń defend ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀ níṣà má ṣe o mo ti rí bọ̀bọ̀ tó pa ọmọ dúdú náà ni kọ́lọ̀ kó ṣàánú wa mo ń bọ̀ níbẹ̀. Here are the 30 local government areas in Osun State ẹ tẹ̀lé mi ká lọ tí bá pronounce ẹ má bínú ẹ̀ pé mo ti pẹ́ ní London lèmi wà ọ̀dà mo kí Alex Mamu ó ní kí n kálẹ̀ my brother tí ẹ bá fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ gym báwo ni ibo ni mo ti máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ṣé látàpá ni àbí shoulder àbí màmá ṣe exercise ẹ mọ̀ pé mo ti pẹ́ nílùú òyìnbó so tí bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń sọ àwọn Yorùbá local government ẹ má bínú gbàlẹ́ máa ní Koiki ò pronounce ẹ̀ dáadáa káwọn ọmọ Ọ̀ṣun má lọ máa bínú sí mi ayé dáadáa ayé dire Atakumosa East Atakun Musa West Bolúwadúró Borípẹ́ Ẹdẹ mo máa ń gbọ́ àwọn Ẹdẹ yẹn dáadáa Ẹdẹ North àwa Yorùbá dẹ̀ máa ń tẹ̀lé wa lọ ṣe pátí gan ará Ògùn state á gbéra báyìí á náà ń lọ sẹ́dẹ ìfẹ́ tó wà láàrin ara wa a lọ sí Ẹdẹ wa lọ bá wọn ṣe pátí má lọ ṣe pátí kan lọ títí nísìnyẹn ká má lọ jí ẹgbẹ́ ká má lọ máa wọ́wọ́ ibi tí mo ẹ má wọrí kò sí nǹkan tó ṣe mí mo lọ donate ẹ̀jẹ̀ ni ìyàwó mi tẹ́ ń béèrè pé ṣé mo feel dizzy mo ní kí ló dé mo ti sùn mo lè ti jẹun dáadáa. Ẹdẹ South Ẹgbẹ́dòre Èjìgbò ó dà pé Èjìgbò náà wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ Odùduwà TV mo ń gbọ́ nígbà tẹ́ ń sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan ẹ ti parí program yìí. Koiki, hope you took some iron tablet and some fresh milk. Ẹ mo lè lọ mú fresh milk ní sẹ́yìn ṣe sọ yẹn pé nọ́ọ̀sì lẹ́yìn ní tí nọ́ọ̀sì bá sọ ló ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe o Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kí mi ṣiṣẹ́ nọ́ọ̀sì o àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ nọ́ọ̀sì tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́sítítù wọ́n ní mo gbọ́dọ̀ mú mílíkì gbé mílíkì jáde wọ́n ní Koiki, have you taken some milk? Láti fi ayé fi donate ẹ̀jẹ̀ sí o so ọ̀yà ẹ jẹ́ mu mílíkì oríṣiríṣi ó bá wà lórí program ó jẹ́ máa kọ́ nǹkan lórí mílíkì tẹ́ máa mu nìyẹn sísá gbé mílíkì ṣé lè wọ òkè káfíńdà pẹ́ ilẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́sítítù ọ̀yà wọ́n ní Koiki ọ̀yà mú mílíkì kò ń ṣe mílíkì ti màálù ti Nàìjíríà àwọn màálù tó ní mílíkì nínú tí wọ́n kàn máa ń gbé káàkiri àwọn màálù Fúlàní Ìkẹrẹ mo ṣe ń bọ̀ níbẹ̀ ẹ ṣe sùúrù àwọn màálù Fúlàní so sísá gbé mílíkì mo ti gbé mílíkì yẹn bẹ́ ṣe sọ health is ó lọ díẹ̀díẹ̀ so mama zip ẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ ẹ ṣe gan ni aṣèwàlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun state adarúkọ Èjìgbò Ifẹ̀ central àwọn ọmọ Ifẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ Dákẹ́kẹ́ Ifẹ̀ Alhaja Sherifa mo ti rí Clement àwọn ọmọ Biafra ó yẹ máa ń sanwó fún mi ní every month sí tó kàn Dizzy ó ní that fresh milk is the top range of quality ó wọ́n gan tí bá ra mílíkì mi wálé èmi ẹ mọ̀ káwọ̀ ọkùnrin kò sí tó kàn wá láti lọ sí store àkọ́ gbé mílíkì bá gbé délé ìyàwó máa ní kílé ilé mílíkì náà ni a ní rọ ilé kọ́ ló ń rán mi wàá jẹ́ kó wọ́n ló máa lọ fún rẹ next time ó wọ́n lò tọ̀ wọ́n tó wà Nàìjíríà Ọlọ́run ó mọ tó ní tó ń jẹ́ kójú wa máa dán leléyìí ó gbọ́dọ̀ wá mélé lójoojúmọ́ wàá yọ ẹ̀kẹ́ wàhálà àwọn ayọ̀ ẹ̀kẹ́ àwọn ìyàwó mi bàjẹ́ ṣe ń yọ̀kẹ́ nínú ilé nìyẹn Ọlọ́run dúpẹ́ fún wọn. Mo kí ní Ifẹ̀ East ṣé Ifẹ̀ Central níbi tí Palace ọba wà Nectech Electrical good evening mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti ń wọlé Prince Adémọ́lá Heritage ọkàn ń pèèyàn ní Prince àwọn dílé ọba nìyẹn ọlọ́wà dúrótì ṣé ń gbọ́ mi dáadáa ní tẹ́wà lórí Facebook so sometimes ọmọ kan tó wà lórí gbogbo other platform fóònù ni mo ń lò so innovate how you doing Yoruba_blog mo fi tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ kì í sà bàbá mi Tọ́pẹ́ Owólabí mo ní sẹ́yìn àgbàlagbà àní sọ̀rọ̀ tó máa bí inú rárá bàbá mi Olúwagbénga mo ṣe kí yín. Rumor is that some people are after getting rid of Tinubu or tó bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá get rid of Tinubu gbogbo Nàìjíríà blow nìyẹn. Tinubu ṣì wà ní Paris so I don't know what he's still doing there. Hopefully he return back to Nigeria tomorrow because October 1st president ò gbọ́dọ̀ wà níta náà kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ commander-in-chief. So I'm just hearing that news from you, my brother, just reason. You said rumor is that some people are after getting Tinubu to get rid of Tinubu. Everybody won't get rid of Tinubu now. In your corner, thumbs up. Only get my thumbs up. A thumbs up. The batting wally. And thumbs up. Kilo shele. Good evening, everyone. How you doing? Only sound the word that. One of them clear. Oda. Ashwa, mo ní ṣé ibi tí Palace ọba wà ibẹ̀ ló ń pè ní Ifẹ̀ Central Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ Ọ̀jájá the second kábíyèsí. So some fake accident báwo ta ló l'accident just reason you said some fake accident lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí there's a washing machine at the back so that's why there's a bit of sound at the back. Olú Mike mo wá kí wọ́n tẹ́ wà ní England mo kí ẹ̀ tẹ́ wà ní Nàìjíríà mo ṣe ń kí dáadáa Ọ̀ṣun state ni mo ṣe wà so Abdullahi ni if you love Koiki you thumbs up my people ìyá dáadáa àwọn grandma àwọn ní ẹ̀ka lẹ́mà mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo yín awake èmi ti sun ẹ má fara wé Koiki wà láì mo ti sùn dáadáa mo ti sùn dáadáa tó ń ṣe kékeré bí ẹ̀jẹ̀ tí mo lọ donate yẹn òun ló jẹ́ kí n máa sùn ìyá mi gbé mi lékè ṣẹ́jẹ̀ yẹn ló yẹ kí n máa sùn ẹ̀jẹ̀ tí mo lọ donate yẹn kọ́ mo ti sùn dáadáa mo lọ sí Ifẹ̀ East mo kí ní Ifẹ̀ North mo kí ní Ifẹ̀ South Ọ̀ṣun State Local Government mo ṣe ń dárúkọ mo kí ní Ifẹ̀ Dayọ̀ Ifẹ̀ Lódùn Ìlàsà East Ìlàsà West Ìrépódùn Ìrèwọlé Ìṣọ̀kan ìṣọ̀kan tá à ń bẹ Ọlọ́run fún látijọ́ ẹ̀ a ní ìṣọ̀kan ìyàn kan tún ṣe orin kan fún wa nígbà yẹn ìṣọ̀kan ló lè gbé wa délẹ̀ lè rí àjọṣọ àgbọ́jọwọ́ triple DRS my brother only you deserve it but no be wood Ọlọ́run ìyàwó mi á ní onísójà ń sùn bọ́ bàbá yẹn ti sùn kalẹ̀ mo ní mo sùn mo kàn díjú báyìí ni sójà kì í sùn nínú ilé mo kí gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ wà ní village mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pátápátá mo ti rí àwọn kan ní Croydon àwọn Nigerians of a celebrate independence right ni kò sẹ́ni kankan tó máa yọ I'm thinking bí a bá dijọ́ Sunday kílẹ̀ rí sí cause plan mi tẹ́lẹ̀ mo fẹ́ lọ ṣe broadcast níwájú Nigerian High Commission níjọ́ Sunday ṣé kí gbogbo aká pàdé níbẹ̀ a gbé emblem Yorùbá Nation wa ìtẹ̀bárí ṣẹ̀fi sínú comment section mo fẹ́ wo reaction ṣé ká pàdé just for like 2 hours 12 to 2 Yorùbá Nation níwájú Nigerian High Commission Koiki Media. I had my plan to go there and do a broadcast from there, but it would be nice if everybody can come there at least for a change. Nígbà tó dẹ̀ ti jẹ́ pé onítìrì náà ti gbé rálì jáde báyìí nísìn tí bàbá kílẹ̀ bá ti sọ̀rọ̀ òun náà máa sọ̀rọ̀ fọwọ́ náà woman mo ń gbọ́jú ẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́sàn-án kí tó sùn lọ mo dáhùn voice kankan mọ̀ níbẹ̀ mo sọ fún yín pé àwa la ní síyá ìgbẹ̀yìn Ìgbòho Ọlọ́run bá wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ mo ṣe wà lọ́ṣun state mo kí ní Ìwó Ọlákúnlé olórúkọ miss namesake mo kí ní Òbòkun ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ní àwọn orúkọ tó dáa Odòtì ṣe Odòtì yẹn kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ níbẹ̀ jẹ́ kí n lọ ṣe research yẹn mo like orúkọ yẹn Odòtì kí ni history Odòtì. Odòtì is a local government area in Osun State, Nigeria. Its headquarters are in the town of Okuku. It is an area of 294 kilometers and a population of 134,000. Ìlú kan nìyẹn níbòmí. Ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyá mi grandma. It is possible your bone marrow will produce new blood cells. Àwọn tó ti ṣiṣẹ́ ní medical line. Wọ́n ní ó dàbẹ̀. One every 12 weeks. Ṣé mo gbégbà tó fẹ́ fún mi ní kinní ìgbà tí mo délé lálẹ́ mo ṣe ń rí ṣá látàárọ̀ ìyàwó mi wá ní kíni mo lè mára mo jẹ̀bi mo sọ fẹ́ pé mo fẹ́ lọ donate ẹ̀jẹ̀ ó wá ní ó ti jẹ́ pé ìtọ́kọ my mom gave blood today ni mo gbà mo ní kò mátà dádì ló yẹ kó wà ń bẹ̀ bọ̀ mom ni mo gbé sí so mo ṣàwọn pé mo donate blood ọ̀dẹ̀ rẹ̀ jẹ́ yẹn fà dáadáa inú mi dùn so ó tún di another 12 weeks lágbára Ọlọ́run wọ́n lè sọ pé though I won't give too much details because the last time I won't give too much details ìyá mi comfort ológun jà ní Àkóìkí ó ti lè sọ̀rọ̀ jù máa ṣọ́rọ̀ kù díẹ̀díẹ̀ but wọ́n ní blood mi ó special gan wọ́n ní blood mi special that's all I will say wọ́n ní kí n má give too much details wọ́n ní mo ní sọ too much ọkọ̀ ní the demand for your blood is increasing so we need more regular donor with your subtype mo ti omit àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan níbẹ̀ ẹ̀mí náà ṣẹ́nu kò nìyẹn wọ́n ní we understand that Tinubu's pain plan was short plane was short kẹ̀ kí ni mò ń gbọ́ lálẹ́ ìkẹ́ plane was short in the Niger airspace kí ló wá dé Niger airspace in the first place ẹ jẹ́ lọ sórí Twitter mo sì kẹ́yìn ará Ọ̀ṣun bí ẹ̀yẹn náà ni kíní ń sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan just reason ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ lọ explore kí ló ń trend Tinubu plane kẹ̀ God forbid Tinubu òun ló ń trend no Délé Fárótìmí nìyẹn alright ẹ jẹ́ ká tó kí ló ń trend African Confidential ó takú sórí Twitter àti ẹni. Ok, ẹja lọ sí Sahara. Pé Sahara náà ní intel dáadáa. NLC strike. Your strike is too early. Let's dialogue. President Tinubu appeals to organize labor to shelve nationwide strike. Osun State Government Council Independence Day celebration calls for prayer over Nigeria. Pray for Nigeria. Báwo. Òun náà mo ṣì ń wò grandma. Anybody tó bá ní any information lórí ti plane Tinubu, mo ń gbọ́ pé ní ó ní problem along Niger or whatever. All right, nothing on the ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí People's Gazette. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún lọ wò. Is anything there? Okoni, kidnapper demands 60 million ransom for adopted Benue commissioner. Son. Bí n bá ní 60 million nísìn wàláì máa paint ilẹ̀ Yorùbá rẹ̀. Àṣọ́ṣe máa ṣe rally àwọn dúpọ̀ ní 3419. Police nab a Catholic priest. I can't see anything on Tinubu on Twitter. So, and that's Eden Losori AP News. Associate Press. 15.9 million followers. Don't tell you. Nothing so far. All right. It could still be anything but, okay, one name I just now. All right. I can't confirm anything. Okay. Your Connie, brother Quick, it is true. DJ Dinky. But if it's true, all right, let me type Tinubu on the search on the Google, on the Twitter space. Tinubu plane. Let's do that. Tinubu plane. It might be known for the background noise and for Shoshuni. Okay, David Odonye, 3 hours ago, my aviation source told me that the reason Nigerian aircraft 001 with Bola Tinubu on board spent so many hours in Algeria where it appeared to be stuck is that Niger refused permission for Tinubu to fly through Nigerian airspace and threatening to shoot his plane out of the sky if it dare. Nigerian aircraft 001 subsequently had to stop in Algeria to plot a new flight route to Abuja. They tried to cut through the southwest tip of Niger, but they have just been forced to leave Nigerian airspace. They have just entered Burkina Faso. All right, so, all right, that is exactly what, Hey, Motirin Tikpe, Alaja Fatima, Kalafialewa. All right, that I think is the news that Tinubu's flight back to Nigeria has been averted because of the problem between Nigeria and Niger. I mean, you do expect to have such anyway. I mean, you do expect. Grandma Leah Jayi, Eshegoni. Thanks so much for everyone telling me that. So I wouldn't have seen. And I slept around 5 o'clock. And I think David Odonye, though Mori Bati Mayegun program, Bati Mo living room me. So Mori Pe, wife me like Mayegun. All right. So it's not that we was shoot plane not that it's been shut down. So all right, thanks so much for the clarity there. So again, if you're joining us, according to David Odonye on his Twitter, well, on his X space 3 hours ago, when it about be president in Nigeria, Emi come on sober, Emi Shenia young be for the Yoruba new, a man name new. When about be president wada Kogba Niger space koja amaja plane ya wale Eshegoni Laja Fatima, thanks so much. So Mokiola Mide Emmanuel Igbowo Sha Ekun baba oko Fulani Ekun gbogbo wọn mo kàn bridge rich apology leni ni kí Igbowo kó má bínú Igbowo bínú tẹ́lẹ̀ èmi àti Igbowo ti sọ̀rọ̀ bí ẹ̀mẹ́ta leni ó ṣà fún rẹ̀. All right, ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sí local government. So nothing is wrong. Ó wà Algeria. Bàbá mi Timothy Agbeloba lágbára Ọlọ́run níjọ́ Wednesday. Ó yẹ ká gbé wá sórí Star Radio. So kẹtù wá bá àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Agbeloba. Àwọn family mi wà lókè wọ́n ti ìtò máa sùn ti sùn. Ìtò dẹ̀ sùn wà lórí tablet ẹ̀ ń bẹ̀. So mo dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run. Ṣàlàfíà làwọn family tẹ̀yìn náà wà. Bàbá Akintoye wà òkè. Ara bàbá le tata ni. Ó le kákákáká. Gbogbo èpè tó ṣe fún bàbá Akintoye àṣẹ tó máa fẹnu wọn gbolẹ̀. Ìjáyà mo kí ẹ. Ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sí local government táwọn wò lọ wọ́n ń wo odò Ètì kí ló dé tó ṣe ń pè ní odò Ètì ẹ̀yin ará Ọ̀ṣun state okay ó ní river kan níbẹ̀ wọ́n po odò yẹn ní Otin river. Otin river is a river in Osun state, Nigeria. It is impounded by Eko Ende Dam. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ní kan ṣá. According to 2006 census, like I said, I'm for aṣọ lẹ́yìn ẹ má bínú. Fàájì làkọ̀ wá ṣe lálẹ́, so presentation the part 2 wèrè yẹn mo fẹ́ kó distract wa. We want to be focused on Yoruba nation, but we must touch on them once in a while. So tẹ́ bá ní any question ẹ béèrè lọ́wọ́ mi. Àlàáfíà ní Ìgbòho wà sẹ́ ẹ̀mẹ́ta lèmi àti Ìgbòho sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nìí òṣà fún rẹ̀. Àdìsá ọmọládìkún gbogbo wọn ti fẹnu gbolẹ̀ báyìí Ọlọ́run sọ fún yín pé ìfìrìgbọ̀n sílẹ̀kùn ẹni tó bá ní kọ́kọ́rọ́ ni. Mo ní Tinubu respect Ìgbòho, Ìgbòho respect Tinubu. That's all I can say. I need to go into two more details. You see, for public consumption. Mo mọ̀ tí ikú bàbá yìí sọ fún mi nípa Tinubu. Kọ́lọ́n kó wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Kọ́lọ́n sọ padà sí Nàìjíríà. Mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo ní gbọ́dọ̀ dé Nàìjíríà before October 1st. Wá route mi fún. Ó kọ́ lè jẹ́ long route ni. Á dé Nàìjíríà. Kí ló fẹ́ gba Nàìjíríà fún? Ìwọ tó ní ó fẹ́ lọ attack Nàìjíríà wá fẹ́ gba airspace wọn. Kí ló fẹ́ gba airspace wọn fún? So tẹ́ bá ti ń gbọ́ òkú ìkẹtì Otin ṣe pronunciation náà nìyẹn bàbá mi Ọláwọlé Stephen ní Otin. So there is another local government tó ń pè ní Ọláolúwa, Olúràndá, Oríadé, Òrólù. Yorùbá ní so much places o. Gbogbo bí tẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá máa ronú sí nìyẹn. Orolu is a local government area in Osun State, Nigeria. Its headquarters are in the town of Ifon. Wọ́n á pè story kan wà nípa Ifon. Mr. Victor Adebambo just recently, they can say that they cannot guarantee the safety of the passenger through the Nigeria. Kí ló fẹ́ gba Nigerian airspace fún? Kó lọ wá route mi now. Nigeria àti Niger ń jà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Why does the president plane wants to go through Niger? Risk it now. Ẹ ṣe gan ni inshallah wọ́n ní àbólúwa kò ní fi mí sílẹ̀. Àdúrà ńlá nìyẹn ó ju gbogbo owó lọ. Ẹlòmíì ní àdúrà wọn ni pé gbogbo tá à ń pariwo yìí tábà ti lè pariwo mọ́. That means pé olú ẹ ti dòkú nìyẹn Ọlọ́run jẹ́ àdòkú kọ́lọ́run foríjì gbogbo àwọn tó ti kú. So a lot of Nigerians a lot of ọmọ Yorùbá ọmọ àǹfààní detergents ṣé gbogbo àwọn local government yìí mo show video kan ní area bí tí mo ti lọ deliver tí mo ti lọ fún ọ ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ ní side ibi Tottenham ni mo ti lọ donate blood yẹn because ibẹ̀ ni wọ́n ní space sí. The next space is still around October but they máa fẹ́ ṣe because ẹ mọ̀ pé èèyàn láti plan. Tẹ́ bá lọ wo video yẹn lórí YouTube ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá mọ Tottenham Hill àwọn tó ń gbé ní London àbáwọn tó máa wá sí London dáadáa through ẹni tó bá ń bọ̀ láti Stansted Airport there's a direct connection flight from Tottenham Hill. Bó ṣe transform ibẹ̀ yẹn mo fẹ́ lè máa dààmú nígbà tí mo débẹ̀ lẹ́nìí ọmọ ó ti wà transform pa wọ́n ti transform ẹ̀ gan. I'm not joking. Mo record video yẹn about 4 minutes ó wà lórí YouTube. Ẹ bá follow backup channel wa mo kẹ́ wà látà lórí ẹbí wa ẹ bá follow backup channel máa share link yẹn Mr. Babatunde Akale àtẹ̀tí plantem àbọ̀ mo ṣe yín kí gbogbo iná. So Orolu kí ló dé tó ṣe ń pè ní because ṣe rí gbogbo àwọn local government yìí lágbára Ọlọ́run nígbà tí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá bá dé at any time tó bá dé a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe proper documentary tí government máa wà involve proper ni mo sọ proper documentary gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátá in a digital way. Mo kí ìyá mi Aminat Sisi, thank you so much for following. We appreciate you. If you're new to the platform, my name is Olawumi Koiki, a journalist, a father, a campaigner for the Yoruba nation, and also you can call me an activist. And you can just call me Koiki Media. Thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate you. Fáwọn tó gbọ́ Yorùbá nìyẹn. We speak in English, and we speak in our beautiful language called the Yoruba. Orolu local government, bẹ́ẹ̀ all these local government, Baba mi Victor, wọ́n ní last man standing. Thank you so much. Omobolajini, I listened to it where you said fuel station was formed to building area. Yes. Sherry, that Tottenham area, it used to be, I mean, I don't know how the Sherry planning a new àwọn tó jẹ́ àwọn ló máa ń pè ní people that planner náà kọ́ ló máa ń pè wọ́n, because I think if you go back to ṣe àti dárúkọ gbogbo local government yẹn tán, then Òṣogbo, mo kí ẹ̀ ń tẹ́ wà ní Kwara State, mo kí ń dáadáa ẹ má bínú pàlẹ́ 16 local government ló wà ní Kwara. I think I know that off head. Ọmọlúkà, mo kí ẹ l'Ondo State, mo kí bàbá wa Akérédolú, kọ́lọ́n túbọ̀ fún yín lálàáfíà, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Kogi State, mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Okun, ibẹ̀ ni Tolúlọpọ̀ Arótilé ti wá. Ìyá Kogi, kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀? Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta ẹ̀. Ṣé ìyá yẹn ṣì máa lọ bẹ́ẹ̀? Mo kí anyway ìyá Kogi. I remember around March kan ni ìyá Kogi pè mí, a sọ̀rọ̀, you know, and all of a sudden everything changed. Dizzy man, thank you so much. Koiki Media, we are going to build brick by brick better, best modern political economy fit to match the West. Mo like ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. Fit to match the West. Kódà tó bá jẹ́ ilé amọ̀ lẹ ṣì fi máa gbé, there's a way we can rebuild it. Amọ̀ yẹn ṣì máa wà níta, but within inside we will make sure that air condition lè máa ṣiṣẹ́ nínú ẹ̀. And I'm not joking. Thank you so much for that. And I know that it is possible. We got the power to transform Yoruba land. Mo fi máa kàn comment and tètè sáré lọ, so jẹ́ kí n máa pick it up lórí bíbá. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Let's keep the comment coming. Mo kí bàbá wa Stephen, mo kí àwọn solution center kan ta ní Ìyá Kogi, the Minister of Army Force. Ìyá yẹn fọ́nì gan, attention. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà Alájà Àjà, Ìyá Ìgbòho, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin quiet and silent listeners, mo júbà yín. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lójú Ẹlẹ́gbà. Ọ̀rẹ́ pé Sanwó-Olú, no, kí ló dé tí Sanwó-Olú ń para lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta yìí? The governor of Lagos State, I can see is really, really bitter. It looks like he wants to transform Lagos State. No more hawking, no more kinikan. But Mr. Murphy, good evening, sir. But báwo làwọn yẹn ṣe máa survive? Sherry, Mr. Adéjọkẹ́, àbí no, bàbá mi náà ni, no, obìnrin ni wọ́n, Adéjọkẹ́ obìnrin ni, Ọmọláyọ̀, ẹ ṣé gan ni kálẹ̀ mọ́. I want to take it step by step, but I'm just moving around, you know, because I don't have any topic. So we'll move around. If we're not so I'm just looking out. I mean, what has happened in the week. Sanwó-Olú para, kí ló dé tó ń para? Mo ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Tottenham Hill. Ẹ̀yin kan lè má mọ̀. But if you go on my page, and I think I've posted it on TikTok, I will double check. Okay, somebody is sending a request on TikTok. I'll bring you in, Mr. Murphy. Dennis Otto, Moki. Hello, sir.
Hello, good evening, bro.
Very good evening. How are you doing, sir?
Hello, good evening, bro.
I greet you, my brother. So I say good evening. How are you, sir?
Yeah, fine. Are you too?
Adeo. Where are they listening from?
From Ijegun, Ikotun, Igbe side.
Ìyẹn lágbára nìyẹn. Àlímọ̀ṣọ́ nìyẹn.
Sure.
The biggest local government in Lagos State. Ẹ̀yin lẹ ń decide the election Lagos State. Ẹ̀rẹ́rìn. More money. ẹ̀yin ò sínú politics kí ló dé tẹ̀ sínú politics ó wà ní politics náà kí ló dé ẹ̀yin ò sínú politics.
Brother, ṣé ẹni nírú mi tó ń jẹ́ ọ̀kan pé lọ́wọ́ yín kẹ́ wá push me sínú politics ṣé máa ní kí n ṣe.
Tẹ bá ti ní bàbá àṣàlẹ̀ bíi Yáyí dẹ̀ ti kúrò ní eré àyín yẹn nísìn ó tún sá lọ sí Ogun State ibẹ̀ ló tún lọ ń jẹ owó ẹ̀ nísìn Yáyí fún rẹ̀ ọ̀la ṣé kinní kan Yáyí kan ló ń jẹ mo délé ẹ̀ ní Ìkẹjà big house àwọn politician ń jayé burúkú ṣé sáìdì NNPC yẹn ṣé wọ́n ti ṣe gbogbo títì yẹn ẹ mọ̀ pé bí kan wọ́n máa ń pè ní NNPC.
Àwọn títì tó ń ṣe títì tí like àwọn government wa they just is like they no try at all and seriously let's talk reality they no try at all it's like àwọn iṣẹ́
shabby job
báwo mo ṣe máa sọ
shabby job ni
like this Nigeria government is like sherry no let just blame all this new government like our new government why ẹ má jẹ́ ká ní brain much lórí wọn because wọ́n ní ẹbó dàbí òwe má bínú wọ́n ní ẹsẹ̀ tí kinní kan bá gbé náà lọ́mọ ẹ̀ náà máa ń tẹ̀lé so tẹ bá notice in our like in this Nigeria let's say all this our header in Nigeria from starting of president or governor or anything ó yẹ kó ti master wa kò fẹ́ master wa ni.
Okay.
See láti if I no make mistake tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa election like bóyá Tinubu bóyá because I hear so many people is shouting Tinubu débẹ̀ ó ti bàjẹ́ ipò tí wọ́n kìíní kan tí wọ́n.
No ó ti bàjẹ́ kí Tinubu àfi tó bá fẹ́ parọ́ ó ti bàjẹ́ kí Tinubu tó débẹ̀ though he was part of it as well from in terms of 1999 lòun náà padà.
It's not only Tinubu gan nítorí mo notice kinní kan tí mo bá tiẹ̀ kéré gan like mo máa notice kinní kan gbà yẹn normally mi ò kí ń vote mi ò kí ń ṣe election but I'm always follow mo máa ń ṣe follow online. Now what I just know is like kí ni age Tinubu tá a bá pé Tinubu ní 80 years let's assume say Tinubu is 80 years.
Okay.
Brother tí Tinubu bá jẹ́ 80 years tábà wo tí Nàìjíríà ń sọ nísìnyí wọ́n ní Nàìjíríà ti wọ bóyá 60 years or 60 something years sure if I no make mistake.
Yeah, Nàìjíríà ó dà pé 64 la fi ṣe nísìnyí a fi ṣe 64.
64 ẹ ṣe tábà minus 64 kò nínú age Tinubu kí ló máa give wa.
Okay à ń gbádùn yín.
So ẹ wá wọn àwọn tó ti ṣe like if I no make mistake tí má dẹ̀ make mistake ẹ máa correct me a ti gbọ́ nípa Nigeria àwọn elders wa start from àwọn president wa tó ti lọ nígbà táwọn tiẹ̀ ti gbọ̀ngbà ẹ̀ now tí mi ò bá
63 thank you so much one in Nigeria is 63 thank you for the correction it's not 64 63 thank you so much go ahead mo gbádùn yín sir.
So láti mo ti dáyé mo ti gbọ́njú láti ayé Abasa so if I no make mistake.
Okay yeah.
Mo táwọn bàbá wa ń pariwo ń gbà ẹ fún wa gbà ẹ gan ẹ má lọ ṣẹlẹ́ṣọ̀ Abasa is a bad man Abasa is a bad president ìjọba ẹ ó ní wá lára gan so we are less and we thank God àgbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ Ọlọ́run gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ gbàtọ́ Ọlọ́run máa gbà ẹ lọ́wọ́ if I no make mistake in that movement ó dàbí pé Yorùbá la gbé fún gbà yẹn ta ló máa ṣe tó máa dáa ó máa ṣe kíní kan bó tẹ́ bá ṣe mistake tẹ́ ó níye tá à ń ra ipò láyé Àbáṣà ní kò wá òkè o.
Okay.
But ìgbà tá a gbé fẹ́ni tó tá a wish láti gbé fún náà tí ì bá ṣe mistake mo sì notice pé ipò yẹn ó sì tún lé something still more as in if I don't make mistake.
Okay, all right. Ẹ jẹ́ kí help you. I think you're modeling it up, but you're getting it. But I think let me help as well. You know, tí bá dẹ̀ wrong, káwọn èèyàn correct me. But ẹ jẹ́ kí sáré appreciate àwọn tó wà lórí program because mo rí pé àwọn kan mọ̀ tí kí wọn. Ní Dubai mo kí Mr. Olalekan, Mr. Samuel, bàbá mi Ògúndélé, àwọn lọ jí mi láàárọ̀ Prophet ẹ ṣé gan ni mo dẹ̀ take advice yín gan ẹ ṣé gan ni sir. Mr. Usman, Mr. Kende, Mr. Abiodun George mo kí yín. Let me first ask this question. Ṣé mọ̀ pé gbogbo time àwọn àbátà tẹ̀ ń sọ yẹn, that was a military dictator. That's the military era. So,
sure.
Ashe wọnú civilian padà ní 1999 ni. So, ṣé fẹ́ sọ pé as at the time tí wọ́n ń ṣe military era yẹn because èmi rántí pé tí ìbá tẹ̀ mọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ máa rántí Buba Marwa because òun ni governor administrator as at Lagos State nígbà yẹn kó tó di pé mi kúrò Nàìjíríà. Many of the àwọn tó dàgbà jù wá lọ they've blamed that the military era was not in the good interest of Nigeria. Wọ́n ní ó yẹ ká ti dúró lórí civilian yẹn. Ìdí tó lè ṣe military ni pé after tí ó di pé Shagari was the last, if I'm right, Shehu Shagari was the last civilian government as at that time. Kó tó di pé ó overthrown ẹ̀ ìyẹn Buhari wèrè olórí burúkú tó lọ tán yìí. Àgbà tí Buhari dé, then Babangida gbà, Babangida, then Abacha, then immediately Abacha kú, àwọn Tinubu padà dé. Abacha ló lé gbogbo àwọn Tinubu kúrò Nàìjíríà. Ìnà àwọn Nàdẹ́kò ó fẹ́ pa gbogbo wọn anybody. Ẹ máa rántí gbà yẹn bọ̀bọ̀ lórí burúkú tí wọ́n ń lò yẹn. Sniper kìíní. But ní tí mo fẹ́ ní tí mo fẹ́ béèrè nísìn ni pé tá bá ní Nàìjíríà ti bàjẹ́ pé kò ṣiṣẹ́, definitely we cannot pin it to the time of 1999. Ó ti wọ́ ti pẹ́. But ní tí mo fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin nísìn, ṣé from 1999 till date is 24 years ni àti run ní democracy. Ṣé kò tí wà enough láti elevate ayé àwọn èèyàn, even if it's not in a large scale, in a small scale. Mo ń gbọ́ ọmọ kékeré tó ń dún nísàlẹ̀ yẹn, at least irú ọmọ yẹn nísìn ó yẹ kó lè lọ sí nursery, láti nursery kó sanwó fún ní free títí dé secondary. Tó bá ṣe secondary tó fẹ́ wọ university, wọ́n lè ní òkè bí a grant ni bí a loan ni bó ṣe ń ṣe nílùú yìí, university ò ń ṣe free nílùú yìí. Kódà èmi àti ìyàwó mi ṣe ń discuss ẹ̀. After 10 years, nísìn government is thinking to cancel anybody tó bá gba loan nílùú yìí fún university study. Ìdí mo fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín ni pé ṣé 24 years yẹn ti kéré jù láti bring a society, àbí torí pé damage táwọn military ti ṣe? Because we are talking about Abacha took out $5 billion out of Nigeria. Ṣé mo pé $5 billion yẹn, right? As much as wọ́n sọ fún wa pé ní owó yẹn padà sí Nigeria, I cannot guarantee that gbogbo owó yẹn lọ tún lò. Let's assume that nígbà tí Abacha ta àwọn epo yẹn, because crude oil Abacha fi rí owó yẹn. If Abacha has invested that money back in every part of Nigeria, tí industry ń ṣiṣẹ́, tí gbogbo ẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́, by the time tá bá kúrò nínú military era tá bọ́ sínú civilian, ṣé mo pé continuity làwọn yẹn kọ́ máa ṣe, but itself during the military time they were just stealing money. And I'll give you another example kí tó padà sọ́dọ̀ yín. There's a guy called Bagudu. Òun ni wọ́n fi ṣe Tinubu fi ṣe Minister for Budget and Planning, the former Kebbi State Governor. Ó negotiate pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà, tẹ́ ń gbọ́ yìí, Nàìjíríà as a country, pé owó tóun bá Abacha jí jáde òun máa fún yín ní díẹ̀ padà nínú ẹ̀, but gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ ló máa fún yín. So till today now, he's still in government. And these are the same set of people that sponsor certain set of politicians tó fi di pé abẹ̀rẹ̀ democracy padà. So you as a person, you will not be able to compete with them. So the question is, after we return back to democracy in 1999, are we young in democracy, number one? And why is the life of everybody still very difficult, number two? Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ bá mi answer.
Yeah, thank you very much. That seems to down so and we matter a question to every I think go down the first one. It's like no joking is different like kini uti bola tile so kaka ko ye ko da àwọn people is like hey understand kini you want rotate kini now you said something about will be this president idiot Okro
Buhari say baba.
Yeah, you said something about Buhari before. So Buhari tells me by shipping wait, shipping me at no large political rule back on.
But àwọn èèyàn wa náà ló lọ gbé padà wá pé ó ti reform because sí nínú military mọ́. So ó ní right. Even though pé
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, mo gbọ́ yín.
I'm sorry, brother.
Yeah.
Ẹ má sọ pé àwọn èèyàn yín. Ẹ má kó gbogbo wa pọ̀.
Okay.
See.
But Tinubu náà ló represent gbogbo wa now.
Ẹ má lò ó kọ́ lórí represent gbogbo wa.
Okay.
Ẹ má sẹ́rí is it is pé English tẹ̀lé ẹ̀ go kì í ṣe pé ní àti sọ. ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn ló ń sọ English but wọn kì í follow, wọn kì í tẹ̀lé tó ń sọ lórí English yẹn. Ṣé understand báyẹn? Kì í ṣe gbogbo if English say something it's like I need láti ṣe follow pé kí ni meaning, kí ni ọ̀rọ̀ ìtumọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. But tí yóò bá ti ní ìtumọ̀ ó máa ṣìwàwù náà ni. Tí wọ́n ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Yorùbá tí mo jẹ́ ẹ̀ wọ́n ní ọ̀pọ̀ èèyàn náà ń pè ní jọmọ́ ẹni kò kí ń já wa ni.
Kódà wọ́n ní irun jọmọ́ ọ̀gbọ́n ló dájú irun máa dákìtì ẹ̀ lọ. Mo kí bàbá Kúnlé Ṣítà.
That's the problem ta ní ìlú yìí. Èèyàn kan ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ àwa ni and that's the problem. Oya báwo lè ṣe ní country ṣe fẹ́ dà? Let me just mo fẹ́ come up lórí matter kan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà kan tí gbogbo wa dẹ̀ mọ̀. Now everybody fi ẹ̀dùn ọkàn rẹ̀ hàn nípa country tá a wà pé this tá a ní ju táwọn tí ò dá lélẹ̀ ẹjọ́ gbogbo the whole country that's the whole state in the country gbogbo wọn fi ẹ̀mí ẹ̀dùn wọn as in ìbínú ọkàn wọn pé this tó dùn àwọn lélẹ̀ àti pastor àti àfà everybody shouting like bomb in any state kan ní problem bó ṣe remember pé Lagos state is láti kọ́kọ́ ní problem. Nígbà tá a dé tó gate many our people is dead and till today ṣe mọ̀ pé seriously and truth wọ́n mú sójà ẹ̀ jáde pé this àwọn tó wà ní duty ìjọ ẹ̀ lélẹ̀. Brother ẹ bá mi wo inú ìwé yín kẹ́ wá wo ọjọ́ tó ń ṣe bá a ṣe ń pariwo tó judgement ọjọ́ òun náà wá ṣèdájọ́ náà ẹgbẹ́ jáde nínú ìwé yín àfi tó bá máa ṣe lọ́la.
So kò tí sí justice kò tí sí mo fẹ́ ka nǹkan tíjà yàtọ̀ ẹni sọ̀rọ̀ ńlá tó glasses mi. Nigeria is a scam and a fraudulent country at 63 years old. Brother wa kan béèrè pé please kí ni kókó gangan kí ni kókó gangan mo ti understand bẹ́ẹ̀ kẹ́tù bá mi rephrase it so that ká lè fún ní a bit of understanding. Màá gbẹ́ lómi wọlé nísìnyí. My question is kí ni solution tẹ́yìn feel? Let me put it that way. What is the best solution with the current state of things in Nigeria? Chief Coach Mokinye Kalesa. Everybody is complaining. Everybody is mourning. Is it the political elite that are doing the wrong thing? Number one. And if they're doing the wrong thing, how do we correct it? Number two. Then what is the solution? What is the solution, with you? Yeah, I go bàdẹ̀ ṣe máa ń gbé kalẹ̀ yàtọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ mi náà ṣe máa sọ ó máa yàtọ̀ bọ̀yẹ́ ká gbọ́tọ̀ dọ̀ tiwọn. Kí ni solution with all these problems being faced presently in Nigeria? Aziz kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọgbọ́n ọmọdé tèmi like mo ṣe kéré mọ or a little experience tí mo ní nípa country yìí.
Okay.
The solution where I know about is like because tabanika máa ṣe àṣepọ̀. Because what I know is like ní understanding ara wa dáadáa.
Okay.
Like ṣé gbogbo àwa èdè mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta. Now tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ check in Nigeria now àti ju èdè tó ń bẹ Nigeria ó lé ní 200.
Ó ju 200 lọ 351.
So àwa èdè mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta tá a wá ní a ní Nigeria gan tá a stand in
Igbo, Hausa and Yoruba.
So àwa mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta yẹn understand that our dada.
Okay.
And in this kind matter is like see understanding of àti sí láàrin ìgbìmọ̀ mẹ́ta.
Yeah.
Wọ́n kọ́kọ́ lọ fún share like wọ́n lọ fún share everybody á dilé ẹ̀.
Okay.
So tẹ́ bá ti lè tún tí everybody táwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta tó kálukú bá ti lè tún ilé wọn ṣe.
Okay.
Àwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta láwà yan olóyè agbẹnusọ kọ̀ọ̀kan jáde pé fún Yorùbá o àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá àfúnyínlẹ̀ ní báyìí àwọn Yíbò náà mú tiwọn wá ẹni tá a nífẹ̀ẹ́ jù lọ́dọ̀ ti wá lélẹ̀ ẹgbà ẹlẹ́kẹta náà mú tiẹ̀ wá ẹni tá a fẹ́ jù látọ̀dọ̀ wá lélẹ̀ ẹgbà ṣé mo pé Yorùbá àwa náà ti kóra jọ pé this Yorùbá we love this person ẹ jẹ́ kó jẹ́ abẹnusọ àwa náà máa push it àwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta pé nìyẹn so in anything táwa Yorùbá bá fẹ́ a máa ní ẹnìkan tó máa lọ ṣàṣojú wa. The same thing Igbo no mashibe, Hausa mashibe.
Okay.
That's the only. It's not like.
Okay, all right. Ṣé wà aware nípa 2014 confab? ṣé gbọ́ rárá nípa tó ń pè ní 2014 confab tó ṣe ní Nàìjíríà?
I don't understand. I don't know.
Okay, all right. So that means, again, we need a lot of education. Now, I was just going to Google it, but the 2014 confab to ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nigeria is exactly what they were trying to do with loan content soil, right? Number one, I'm going to take you back to the regional government. Ṣé mo nípa regional government?
Yes.
Ẹ mọ̀ pé we were running a regional government kó tó di pé there was a split. No, question tí mo ń béèrè ni pé àìṣe ẹ wà aware pé there was a regional government ni wọ́n fi fún wa ní Nàìjíríà tá à ń lò lẹ́nu. It was a regional government. Àgbákọ̀ èyí tẹ́ ń pè mo ń lo fóònù yẹn láti fi transmit. All right, it seems you are not aware of that. All right, let me first put it this way. In 1960, we got an independent, right? You're aware of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What was the arrangement to Funwa before the 1960 independent? What was the arrangement in London? Maybe by England or to make arrangements here. The arrangement was determined in 2 years. Ọdún méjì ló fi jókòó ìpàdé, wọ́n pè bẹ́ẹ̀ ní Lancaster House. Hopefully, it's all about for many time. Màá lọ ní next week again. Màá tún lọ ṣe broadcast, a refresher. Nínú Lancaster House yẹn ló ti ṣe ìjókòó ìpàdé pé nígbà táwọn òyìnbó tí a ní afẹ́ kọ́ máa lọ kọ́ fún wa ní independent, a fẹ́ jẹ́ kó jẹ́ pé àwọn ọlọ́mọ máa control wa. A fẹ́ dá dúró as an independent country. After tó ti amalgamate wa ní 1914, ìgbà tó máa fẹ́ di pé Ghana gba independent, push ti wà pé everybody ti ní òyìnbó tó ń lùdù gbogbo ibi tí wọ́n tó ń rù pé àfẹ́ mọ́. Àwọn bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ dìde, Zik dìde, Tafawa Balewa àtàmádù Bello pẹ̀lú àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan níbi region wa kọ̀ọ̀kan. What we now agreed to make that independent of what is called Nigeria today, tá máa ṣe celebration ẹ̀ ní ọ̀túnla, was a regional government. The regional government was to give everybody to go and manage their region. Ṣé wá rí bí tẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ délẹ̀ nǹkan yẹn pé olúkálùkù ṣe tiẹ̀? That was what we got in 1960. Ṣé ìyẹn ti yé yín dáadáa nísìn?
Understand.
The question tó yẹ ká wá béèrè ni pé now that regional government is not what we are practicing. We are not practicing that regional government because òyìnbó gan mọ̀ pé living together, our living together will be very, very difficult because we are not the same. But they want us to stay together as one block called Nigeria. And if we are going to stay as one block, we must, about Dennis, please. If we are going to stay together, we must be ready to also have peace. That was what gave the regional government, Emagbo, Western region, Eastern region, and the Northern region. All that was destroyed. However, it was destroyed. Whoever destroyed it, what we are now asking for, we have what they call the Afeniferes. The Afeniferes, the Ohanese, and the Arewas, or whatever they're called in the north, they are the voice of the same set of regional people. But our politicians, the Anthony Agbara ju àwọn social political group yẹn lọ. So they are not listening to them anymore because what everybody should have done is after we returned back in 1999, we should have been talking about returning back to regional government, returning back to the regional government. And that is where the restructure was coming up. Emagbo, restructure this country. But because the politicians are becoming very powerful, and they're powerful mean that they are manipulating the masses, which is me and you. They have the money, they have everything, So in the long run, you will not get the kind of development you want very fast. Okay, let's give an example now. Someone who is very stressed, Kilodeto was stressed. There's too many people in Lagos State. Lagos do not have what it takes to take care of everybody. With 20 million, the infrastructure is not there. Alimosho Momo Bedada, Mumangbe Okada Lati Alimosho, de VI. That is how far though I might not know the area very well, but at least, there's development that everybody's expecting. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Because why? Regional governments here want to destroy it. Now we have to wait for allocation from the federal to be able to say, okay, Lagos is part of the state and River State that is making good hell of a money. Why be owó yẹn 1 trillion? What dá padà sí federal? Federal ṣe wá sọ fún Lagos pé ó ìwọ náà gba díẹ̀ nínú ẹ̀. This is not going to bring the development. But the question again is, many ọmọ Yorùbá a kò mọ̀ pé wọ́n bí wá sínú Nàìjíríà, but àmọ́ background in Nigeria dáadáa. Because ibẹ̀ làwọn parents wa bí wá sí, ibẹ̀ lọ bí èmi náà sí. But now that we are saying that this friction, mo ń wo bèbí kan lórí YouTube, wife mi ló ń wo program ẹ̀, èmi wá tí mo set up, wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ikú Mohbad. Ó ní everybody dey bínú ọmọ Igbo ni. Ó ní wọ́n bínú sí Tonto Dike àti Ìyábọ̀ Òjó pé nípa Mohbad bla bla bla. Mo sọ fún yàrá mi pé gbogbo ranting ton ranting is still the same problem. We have never been won and we can never be won. Because I think Tonto Dike, if I'm right, she's ọmọ Igbo ni, if I'm right. I don't know too much. Ìyábọ̀ Òjó is Yoruba. The friction is already playing out now because of the kind of communication Tanini saying. This kind of communication was never there about 30 years ago. So less information was not within the society. They removed the history. So what we are now saying is, okay, if Toba Funani restructure, which Emiria and Baba Feni Ferry, they are part of the leaders of the Yoruba people. So we have the leaders, not that we don't have it. I met him, he's 95 years old. The same politician, Bola Tinubu, gave them assurance that they will get a restructured Nigeria. But whether Tinubu will now restructure Nigeria while he's now in control, because Tinubu was just a governor, kò power in the federal. Tinubu has the same power that Jonathan have now. Tinubu has the same power like Buhari have. Tinubu has the same power like Yar'Adua, even though Yar'Adua died, a little bit earlier. Obasanjo was the other person. Yeah, we've got Obasanjo. Yar'Adua died along the line. Jonathan, Buhari, Tinubu is the fifth. The question, Timothy Benin, is Tinubu ma restructure Nigeria before we take the next person to talk to us. After all this explanation, do you think that Bola Tinubu, the current president of Nigeria, will restructure Nigeria? Okay.
Like, Chemo, Gege Omo Yoruba, any Omo to ba ma shikini kon, ati kike lenu eti ma sharp. So, what I say about our like nothing like that at all.
Okay. All right. Mr. Dennis. I think there's another person lining up. Mr. Victor. Okay. For now. This is sure. Yeah. Order. So should we start praying? She pray alama need that if you make sure power the person to mashi. Mr. Murphy. The next person on the line. Am I being interfere because I'm using that phone. Phone you're not low in the by my venue, so I can't. I need no phone. I need extra phones.
Okay, Sherry, sir. Only tip liberty budget. Kusintillo do first. Sherry, Nigeria ti budget in 1959. Number 20 she election, first election. To yakumu ìrìnàjò Nàìjíríà yẹ kó mú straight tí wọ́n ti ring ẹ̀ àtọ́jọ́ ẹ̀ ní foundation Nàìjíríà tó ti crack. So láti gbà yẹn kò sí unity mọ́. At 1960, 1959 to 1960 tí wọ́n ti ṣe election tí wọ́n ti yí election ẹ̀ fún àwọn Fúlàní Haúsá àti gbà yẹn kò sí unity mọ́. Ẹgbẹ́ òun náà tún gbé wọ 1963. Padà sí region everybody control lo ẹ tẹ́ bá wo levels tí
Nàìjíríà Ṣàkẹ́ TV show ẹ káàbọ̀ mọ́ mo ń gbádùn bàbá wa Dennis.
1959 to 1963 kẹwàá wo level lẹ́yìn 1963 yẹn láti 1967 sí 1976 ẹ wo level tí a wà ẹ pé kò sí unity mọ́ so lẹ́gbàá tí unity yẹn ti crack àtìgbà ẹni ò ti sí unity mọ́ Nàìjíríà ṣe rí ta ló kọ́ dìbàlù owó Nàìjíríà gbogbo president tá a ní.
Bonjour, Mr. Bright. Ẹ kálẹ́ sà.
Ọ̀rọ̀ kọ́ dìbàlù owó Nàìjíríà láìpẹ́ tó ti dìbàlù owó Nàìjíríà láyé Babangida àti gba aráyé Nàìjíríà ti bàjẹ́ fi tó ti tán fẹ́nálì so gbogbo nǹkan yẹn ó ti finish wá láti ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ṣe rí ìlú yẹn tó wà for the next 1000 years ẹ má jà tanra wa a máa go backward ni àwọn ìlú tó develop yìí ó ní àwọn kankan tí wọ́n ṣe tó yẹ pé wọ́n ò fi ọ̀rọ̀ religion tí wọ́n ò fi lò ìlú for example bí UAE ṣe wà yìí a lè sọ pé Muslim country ni wọ́n ṣùgbọ́n wọn ò fi òfin ṣeré dáwọ́ ṣe mọ́ọ̀n ọmọ ìlú wọn bí báyìí ó fẹ́ lọ ra car wọn kàn fẹ́ fi ṣe example ni ó fẹ́ lọ ra car wá lọ sí car shop wọ́n bá gbowó sínú briefcase bó ṣe dé bọ́bẹ̀ sí ju owó sáwọn tó ń tọkọ̀ ń bẹ̀ kò pé 6 hours wọ́n arrest ẹ̀ wọ́n ló fẹ́ corrupt àwọn aráàlú wọ́n sọ olú gangan ni wọ́n àrí ẹ̀ màá tún lọ ṣé nípa restructuring tí àwọn bàbá wa ń sọ kò sí tó ń jẹ́ restructuring nínú Nàìjíríà mo fẹ́ kọ́ owó nǹkan tá a bá sọ pé a fẹ́ restructure Nàìjíríà ẹjọ́ tí a bá wo population Nigeria military lẹ́ni tá a bá pín sí mẹ́ta at least àwọn Fúlàní wọ́n máa ní apá kan àbọ̀ àpapá méjì tá a bá lọ sí ọlọ́pàá the same thing gbogbo force tá a ní ní Nàìjíríà lè tá a bá pín tá a bá ṣẹ́ẹ̀kì ẹ̀ ẹ́ rí pé population wọn ló pọ̀ jù ẹjọ́ ìgbà tá a bá sọ ká restructure ṣé a máa dá tí wọ́n padà sọ́dọ̀ wọn àwọn awakọ̀ Yorùbá nìkan ẹ pé kò ní possible ìdí tí wọ́n fi gbà pé ká ṣe restructure yìí pọ̀ so gbogbo tó ń lọ yìí ẹ ṣàjọ ní England tẹ́ ẹ wà yìí kí ni gbogbo population wọn gbogbo wọn pápátá ẹ̀kọ́ ní gbogbo England tí wọ́n ṣe wà yẹn Wales
67.33 as at 2021 67.33
67 million.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Ìlú 67 million àti ìlú 200 million plus. Ìlú 67 million yìí sà, ọ̀nà mélòó náà divide ẹ̀ sí?
Ọ̀nà mẹ́ta.
Mẹ́ta. Why tá a lè divide Nigeria sí mẹ́ta?
Gbogbo population England is 55.98. Níbi tí Mayegun wà, gbogbo population wọn ní Scotland is less than 6 million. It's 5.4. Then ní Wales, gbogbo population wọn is less than 3 million. Gbogbo population wọn is 3.1.
Ní Wales yẹn wọ́n lọ́lọ́pàá tí wọ́n.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Wọ́n ní immigration tí wọ́n.
Yeah.
Wọ́n ní air force tí wọ́n.
Yes.
Wọ́n ní airport tí wọ́n.
Wọ́n ní parliament tí wọ́n.
Wọ́n ní parliament tí wọ́n. Ní ìlú Mayegun ti gbàgbé orúkọ
Scotland
wọ́n ní tiwọn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
England náà wọ́n ní tiwọn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, English.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ sà ṣé ní léèdì bílẹ̀ ṣe máa lè ní iṣẹ́ yẹn lè work nínú Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n ta tílù ìwà fẹ́ work ó yẹ ká ní Supreme Court 6 kí state kí region ní tiwọn. Ẹni tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ní region yẹn kò sí tó ka Àbújá nú ẹ̀ kí wọ́n pa kí wọ́n kún ní region yẹn ká ní chief of army staff 6 ká ní air force 6 ká ní chief of defence 6 ká ní IG 6 ṣé kí ni ìtàpá ní bẹ́ẹ̀ sí zone kò ṣẹ́rí central yẹn ceremonial ló yẹ kó jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣẹ́rí àwọn tó ń jẹ ní central gangan yẹn sà ọ̀ yẹ kó wáyé ìsìn nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ ní local government lálákòókò ẹni kí IG kó máa gbé nǹkan yẹn bọ̀ lábújá ṣé IG mẹ́nu tó pààyàn ní àkókò ìwọ́n bí lẹ́ǹtì bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe ń weak sí bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe ń weak ṣé tí a fi gbogbo ilé ayé yìí sọ̀rọ̀ dọ̀là mẹ́ta kò sígbà tí ìlú yìí ò ní pín because nítorí ẹ̀ máa pín tí nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ní for example nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lè ní àwọn nọ́tà náà wọ́n sọ pé kò kàn wọ́n. Tí nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Ìgbò lè ní àwọn Yorùbá sọ pé kò kàn wá. Tí nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wa a sọ pé kò kàn wá. Nǹkan péré ló so gbogbo Nàìjíríà pọ̀ ń sìn ilẹ̀ mọ̀ kan yẹn passport. Kò dẹ̀ sí alternative la fi ń lo passport ẹyọ kan yẹn. Ìjọ́ tí ọ̀rọ̀ passport bá ti kúrò lọ́rọ̀ wa ẹ mọ̀ pé àkínṣe kan mọ́. So gbogbo kíní yẹn àti politician tó wà nílé o gbogbo wọn pàwọ́ dáhùn ẹ̀ pé there is nothing called Nigeria anymore. Nigeria is gone forever.
Kíyàwá Mary Ogun Adé.
So nígbà tí ìlú ọba tún rẹ́ mílíọ̀n tá a lè divide kíní sọ́nà mẹ́fà.
Ogun kú Adé ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kan náà.
Ṣé rí ìlú ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá nìkan sàn a rí state kan tó tó country méjì.
Well, mo dárúkọ local government kan lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà tá a bá padà sí àwọn local government mo dárúkọ I mean some of those states tá a bá ní ká wo population ní gbogbo àwọn tó wà ní Ọ̀ṣun ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo Ọ̀ṣun population ní Ọ̀ṣun state gbogbo population àwọn tó wà ní inú Ọ̀ṣun as at today we are talking about 2.1 no tẹ̀jú bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ sorry as at 20 èyí tí mo ń sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan was in 1991 as at today lẹ́ni ní 2022 the population census is 3.4 that means pé Ọ̀ṣun state is like a country tó jẹ́ Wales tí mi ta dárúkọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan.
Okay sir. Ní Ọ̀ṣun state yẹn ń sìn ààyò Turkey inú ẹ̀ ààyò Georgia inú ẹ̀ ààyò Azerbaijan inú ẹ̀. Ṣé ẹmọ ẹ̀kọ́ ìta fi yọ ní Ọ̀ṣun state nìkan sí bí country
and the projection is about 4.4 ní Ọ̀ṣun state that's what they are saying the projection by 2022 so àti ju 3.4 yẹn lọ nísìn and we are talking about almost 8,521 kilometer area.
Kátẹ̀ ní 4 million sir ká ní 4 million. For example, only 4 million. Nígbà tí àwọn Russia pín àwọn USSR.
Soviet Union.
Gbogbo population wọn gbà tí wọ́n pín. Mi ò kọ́ wọ́n 300 million.
250 million. Throughout the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union had a relatively similar total population. The US population grew from around 205 million to almost 250 million. The population of the USSR was 290 million. Kò wọ 300. Ẹ̀gbọ́n kankan níbẹ̀ Mr. Dennis.
No, èmi kọ́.
Okay.
Màá kúrò ń bẹ̀ sí. So ní population nígbà tí wọ́n pín ẹ̀ tá bá wá lọ population Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia. Tẹ́ bá wo population wọ́n gbà ẹ̀ ká wo population Azerbaijan ká wo population Ukraine.
Gbogbo population Azerbaijan as at eni is 10.1 kasa pé 10 million Azerbaijan 10 million. Gbogbo population Turkey is 84 million. Turkey. Georgia is 3.7 million, which is the same country like Osun State.
Like Osun State.
Yeah.
Ṣé gbogbo tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí sọ? Ibi tá a dé dúró lè ní tí àwọn kan bá jòkó sí kan bá sọ̀rọ̀ restructuring ẹ̀yẹ ká pẹ̀ pé 0/10 ni because tá a bá sọ pé ká restructure lè ní ẹ̀yẹ wá kọ́ lọ sínú gbogbo àwọn tó jẹ́ parastatal bíi ministry káwọ population tó wà ní ministry mélòó ló wá láti north inú ẹ̀ mélòó ló wá láti Igbo inú ẹ̀ mélòó ló wá láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ṣé nígbà tí wọ́n ní 70% population ẹ̀wá ní ká restructuring ṣé àwárí gbé wọn sílẹ̀ Yorùbá most important ni pé ká dá wọn padà síbi tí wọ́n ti wá ìbò náà bá employ wọn sí lọ́hùn báwọn náà ìfẹ́ san sálárì wọn lọ́hùn so ìdí tí wọn lè gba restructuring yìí pọ̀ oríṣiríṣi so it's better ká kú focus ọ̀nà tá a máa fẹ́ gbà ká máa fẹ́ tò everybody gba owó yẹn lọ. So solution kan péré ta ni mọ nìyẹn. Ṣé gbogbo state tó wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ tó bá sọ pé Nàìjíríà dá nígbà tí Nàìjíríà ti mistake ní 1959 àti gba ẹni Nàìjíríà ti rí wọmi tó ti wọmi. So kò sí nǹkan kan mọ́ nígbà tí bàbá èèyàn bàbá ní dáadáa ti devalue owó láti gba ẹni wa láti dé bá owó. So gbogbo pé à ń pariwo unity kan pé tó wà láàrin àwọn politician ọmọ ni because wọ́n jọ olè ló mọ̀ sọ ẹ lè lórí àpáta.
Olè burúkú ni wọ́n thief.
Olè ló mọ̀ sọ
àlàáfíà ni màmá wa ìyá mi gbé mi lékè àlàáfíà ló wà ẹ ṣé gan ni mà.
Tinubu ṣe ìjọba Ọbásanjọ́ ṣe olè ní gbogbo wọn ó mọ ibi tí wọ́n ti máa pàdé.
Alright. Ìjáyàjà sọ pé ẹni sọ̀rọ̀ ìjáyàjà.
So most important thing ni pé ìsìnká ni pé masses ló máa gbára wọn lẹ̀.
Alright, but the masses are scared because wọ́n ní ọlọ́pàá máa kó bọn jáde. Mo ń bọ̀ bàbá wa Dennis.
Ẹjọ́ sà, tí ológun bá gbàjọba lẹ́ẹ̀ni sà. Kò sí development.
Sure.
Ara wọn náà ni.
Alright. Okay, mo ń bọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká àwọn ọmọ comment then mo fẹ́ kà nípa the national conference tó ń pè ní Confab 2014 because many Nigerians ò tẹ̀ mọ̀ kankan tó ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀ rárá because all this information are hidden away. Ijaya says Nigeria cannot work for nobody unless we go back to the original contract we signed for as a regional, not unitary or total dissolution. Moki Prince, Idowu Emefe, Moki Eyitawa lórí ètò. Babawa Ayodele Adele sọ pé any progress and programs being embarked upon by YZM under Papa Akintoye leadership can only be relied upon. Eshegoni. Tumba Boye Mukisa Bright Alabi. Now, and nípa the 2014 confab, you might want to follow me with this conversation. It's just 11 pages. I'll read it as swiftly, as quickly, and as possible. The National Conference of 2014, the report of the Committee on Citizenship, Immigration, and Related Matters, Executive Summary, Wednesday, 14th of May, 2014. Report of the Committee on Citizenship, Immigration, and Related Matters. Principal Officers, His Royal Highness, Dr. Mohammed Zayanu Abdullahi, CON, Emir of Yuri, was the chairman. Dr. Chidima Owa Jumogo was the deputy chairman. And these are the other signature as well. His Royal Highness Dr. Muhammad Zayanu Abdullahi CON, Emir of Yuru, Dr. Chidima Iwajumogo, Honorable Justice Muhammad Uthman, Dr. Atedo Peterside, CON FMNM, Olashupo Shashori, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Dr. Miriam C. Abdullahi, Mr. Anthony Akika, Dr. Abiola Akiyode Afolabi, Professor Lawale Albert, Ajia Awawu Buka, Dr. Bilikisu Mugoro, Ajia Miriam Ladi Ibrahim FCNA, Mr. John Dara, Dr. Chukwemeka Esife, CON FFPO D Admin, Dr. Gaba Ibrahim, Honorable Umar Kafaro Lawan, Aminu Mahmoud, Chief Dr. Mrs. Nkechi Okimeme, MBA, Chief Isaac Jemide, Barrister Romamon, Abdullahi Ali Kano, Yusuf Amasu Abubakar, OON. Introduction. As part of the effort to finding a common consensus on issues of national development, the 2014 National Conference on the 17th of April 2014 set up 20 committees, amongst which is the Committee on Citizenship, Immigration, and Related Matters, to discuss issues related thereto and generate recommendations as appropriate. This report, therefore, is a summary of the views as expressed by the Committee on the Citizenship, Immigration, and Related Matters, and its recommendations to be presented to the preliminary session of the National Conference. In carrying out its assignment, the committee deliberated on the following thematic areas: census, integrated national database, citizenship and nationality, residency and indigeneity, dual citizenship, movement of person, goods, and services, immigration and internal security, border control, refugee and asylum, IDP, internal displaced persons. For effective deliberation, the committee was therefore divided into 3 subcommittees, namely census and integrated national database, citizenship and nationality, residency, indigeneity, dual citizenship, movement of goods, persons, and service immigration, and internal security border control, refugee and asylum, and internal displaced persons, IDPs. Observations. The committee observe as follows. Despite the existence of constitutional and legal framework for census and national identity management, the continued absence of accurate census, figure, and integrated national database has constituted a major challenge for national planning and security in Nigeria. I want you to take note of that. I will read that again. Despite the existence of constitutional and legal framework for census and national identity management, the continued absence of accurate census among how many of us, that's what they're saying, figure and integrated national database. You don't know who is who truly is a Nigerian and who is not a Nigerian. As far as we are concerned, somebody from Senegal can be a Nigerian by just walking into Nigeria. That's what it means in a layman. And also, that has constituted a major challenge for what? National planning and security in what is called Nigeria. These have resulted in the failure to have an effective citizen identification system. Many of you are just calling yourself Nigerians, but in a true nutshell, you are not a Nigerian. Somebody outside is more Nigerian than you, and that's a fact, which has negatively impacted on crime fighting and prevention. B, the non-implementation of the existing framework has often led to politicization of national census program, with past figures inflated, just like the British government or the British Empire in 1959 told us that the northern part of Nigeria was more than us. That is a lie. There was nothing to prove that, but because they wanted the North to win the election in 1959, they did what? They inflated the census. So when you are hearing the word, the Northerns are more than us, the question is, can we do a full census and find out how many in the North as against how many in the other part of the region? So again, the non-implementation of the existing framework has often led to politicization of the national census program, with past figures inflated for the purposes of increased revenue allocation and other advantages from the government at the center. These many Nigerians do not know. Number C, institutions such as the National Population Commission, NPC, the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, the National Bureau of Statistics, we talk about them all the time on the Star Radio UK, are neither well-funded nor equipped with the modern technology to be able to effectively deliver on their mandate. Number D, despite that the 1999 Constitution, a fraudulent constitution put together by Gowon and the rest of them, was never meant to be used for what is called Nigeria today. But as amended, you cannot amend something that is a fraud. You got to take it down. When we take down that constitution, your life might be a little bit much better. But what Bajabi Amila and Ahmed Lawan of the previous and the other ones have done is they are doing amendment. They are trying to amend something that cannot be amended. So despite that the 1999 Constitution, as amended, provides for national rights and duties in Chapter 11, the government has failed to articulate its bargain to citizens like you and me under the chapter of publicly recited duties. Number E, some of these provisions of the 1999 Constitution as amended are discriminatory, particularly in relation to citizenship of foreign spouse, and also the remuneration of the citizenship between a woman and men, boys and girls. Failure to make Chapter 11 of the Constitution of Nigeria justiciable and or legally enforceable has impacted negatively on the social citizenship in Nigeria and has been the root cause of community rift. we are having community rift as a result of lack of social amenities. What are social amenities? You can ask yourself, do you have social amenities among yourself in all the 774 local governments in Nigeria? Number G, noted that the problem and solutions surrounding, I love this part, noted that the problem and solutions surrounding indigenous people. Who are indigenous people? The Yorubas, the Kanoris, the Shekiris, the Edos, the Igbos, the Hausas, all the 351 different ethnic groups. These are the indigenous people. There was nothing called Nigeria before the 1914 amalgamation. We are indigenous people. Many Nigerians do not want to accept these facts. And this is where there's a lot of frictions. So it says there, and I quote again, noted that the problem and solutions surrounding indigenous people is a global phenomenon. The right to be considered as indigenous has been referred as birthright and coexistent of the right to self-determination. I love this part. Number H, Mukiba Yusuf Sulaiman. Further note that Chapter 11 of the Constitution further recognizes the preservation of culture. What is culture? Every now and then we talk about we want Yoruba nation. Why do we want Yoruba nation? One people, one language, and one culture. Yoruba Nimi Omoluabi. One people, one culture, one language. Igbo people. One people, one culture, one language. Hausa people. But today, nobody wants to accept that. So it says, and I quote again, further note that Chapter 11 of the Constitution further recognizes the preservations of cultures and enhance human dignity and all citizens' rights. And Chapter 4 of the Constitution further protects citizens from non-discrimination due to circumstances of birth. We do discriminate, like our Igbo, and they're taking Lagos away from us. They must go out of Lagos. We don't like the Hausa people. The same thing reverse. So, discrimination due to circumstances of birth, and they are breeding more people, the Northerners, than me and you. They are breeding more. That means in another 30, 200, or probably not even 200, probably another 60 years, you might end up having a Northerner become the governor of Lagos State. One Bimo Jualo. How do we stop that? It's immigration. Why do you think the British government is concerned about many of us coming here? So that we do not take control of the society in the next few more years. Because we will become more powerful and we will take out the English people. The English people do not want that. The Scottish do not want that. So let's go further again. In practice, there has been crisis generated over issues of indigenous and settler dichotomy in Nigeria. That issue will never be resolved until we break away from Nigeria. Good evening, Elizabeth Adesonya. Number I for India. Issues arising from the undefined status of indigents have led to discriminatory practice with relations to appointment. I just saw an advert. The Igbos do not want anybody to become that job. They want to be for the Igbos alone. The same will apply in the Southwest. Why do we give jobs to the Igbos when the Yoruba people do not have a job? The Northern Nigerians will enter Unilag with a very low mark. Why you as an indigent cannot get to Insuka? Because the North is classified as a place that is not well educated, so they reduce the cutoff mark. It has always been like that. I don't know whether it has changed. You can confirm that in the comment section. So issues arising from the undefined status of indigents have led to discriminatory practice with relations to appointment and benefit. Why they will complain about Buhari nepotism? He put his own people there. Tinubu is doing the same thing. The Igbo is going to do the same thing if they have the same access to become the president. Nepotism. Let's go further. Also, marriage and problems of children of mixed marriage. That played out in Lagos State. during the governorship election, we were told that Gbadebo was Igbo. He was never a full-blown Yoruba. Why would he be a governor? We want a full Yoruba man to be the governor. Even some argue that he's a Yoruba, but it's just that Igbo blood is in him. Obasanjo believes that he's more Nigerianness than Yorubaness. Obasanjo was never a Yoruba man. Anyway, that's why I can say, Edide, Ejoko, to a very powerful royal father's madness. Let's continue. Recognize that the Nigerian Constitution guarantees freedom of movement. Ooh! Recognize that the Nigerian Constitution, I love in Jamaica, the Nigerian Constitution guarantees freedom of movement and the right to dignity of human persons are fundamental human rights. Where is Daddy Yati? Nobody's talking about Daddy Yati anymore, dead or alive. Daddy Yati was kidnapped by the short-man devil El Rufai. El Rufai said the Christians will never be governor in the northern part of Nigeria called Kaduna. And the Christians are so excited. They still want to remain in Nigeria. I mean, he spoke in Hausa. He told us that the governors in the north belong to the Muslims, not to the Christians. And look at all the Christians, hypocrites. They can't come out and say, why should we still remain one? So recognize that the Nigerian Constitution guarantees freedom of movement and the right to dignity of human persons as fundamental human rights. However, these rights are violated with impunity through trafficking and illegal movement of persons which continue to dent the image of Nigeria. Nigeria's image will continue to be dented for as long as we remain one. Note that the bad state of the road, like Ijegun and other parts of Nigeria, these are ample free movement of persons and goods and also loss of lives across the nation. Even the Lagos state, people, even in Ilorin as well. I mean, we've seen this, the case of Tani Olon, madness. So many of you will die because of the bad road across the country. Not just the bad road. I mean, in the past, some 20 years ago, when you're driving, you're trying to avoid pothole. Now you have to avoid pothole, and then you have to avoid the terrorists that will kidnap you. So which one do you say first? Because if you're driving at least 70 miles an hour, to about one pothole, that car will somersault. Okay, if you sweep and avoid the pothole, and as you're avoiding the pothole, there's a terrorist that knows that pothole is the point where they can kidnap you. You stop your car, they walk into the forest. If you're not killed, you're lucky. If you get paid, you might come out. Mr. Oluwagbenga came from Maryland. The same day he arrived in Ogbomoso, he was kidnapped. Some even pointed that the family was involved. Whoever was involved, but something led to something. Ransom was paid. 3 people lost their life. A university student lost their life because the university was on strike as at the time. Nigerians, you will wake up, but it's just a matter of time. We're still reading about the Confab 2014, in case you've never read or you've never heard about it before. We're almost there. We're now at number 4 out of 11. We're number 6 out of 11. So we're not doing too bad, even though I'm doing a bit of analysis around it. Let's go to number I. We've talked about the bad roads. Observe that there exist over 1,000. This is the very most important for me and you when we talk about security in that shit old messed up country. In Nigeria, I mean, they're telling you it's 1,000, but we all know that when they say something is 1, in Nigeria, you multiply it by 3. So I'll just go with what they're saying. As of today, according to these people that sat down at the Confab 2014, says, and I quote, and I'll share this link out in case you want to go and do a bit of reading. And I'm going to print it out myself so that I can have a record. Let me just print it out. Send it to my print and then print it out. And my printer should pick it up. I think my printer, yeah, it's in print. That's technology. I think about printer. That's the kind of life me I want to live. I don't want to live stressful life. You see the printer, I don't send signal. I don't want to live in a shitty country. Observe that there exist over 1,000 illegal routes in Nigeria. 1,000. How do you protect citizens when we have 1,000 illegal? So as me and you, they talk like this now, at 12 o'clock. Some people, they bring banner, drugs, cocaine, gone. Money that they move on between those 1,000 roads. Who is there to protect it? Who is there to, to defend us? Why you and me are alive like this? Some people, woman trafficking, that they move Ashewo people from Senegal because they know say for Allen Avenue they go make more business. So they move those girls, they move them there. There's a lot happening. Even this country, people arriving on the boat, small boat. We say stop the boat. Every day, more than thousands arrive. The question is, if UK people are still arriving in those small boats, 1,000 illegal roads in Nigeria, I bet you don't know who is your neighbor. Bobo kan I'm sure Emirati Mr. Murphy, I think Iku Bobo was in Mushin. He was the deputy chairman of Keke Napel. Ọmọ Hausa kan lọ́nà tọ̀bẹ̀ bọ̀ lára. Bí a lọ ti rí Bobo yẹn mọ́lé ni. This happened in December, if not December last year, it will be the previous December. It was in the news. So many deaths. I'm not saying that we point all the fingers of the crime to one particular ethnic group, but the question is, when you have one, I and Igbo, we went to a particular place where they were doing kusa. Kusa gold long. That video is not out yet because if I release that video, some of your kings' names were mentioned. So Igbo actually told me, even the community access video is with me. Nobody was told to record that day. I have the video with me. These are people that are not Nigerians. They are from other countries and they are operating kusa in Yoruba land. Video yẹn wà lọ́wọ́ mi, mo ti archive ẹ̀ pa fọjọ́ wájú because wọ́n dárúkọ àwọn ọba. Observe that they exist. Let me go and bring my prints that I've just done there. But it's good to have this as a record because I can more internet will crash. Our journalist man like me, Sherry. Okay. Ilé ìwòsàn wa ń send orí kíní yóò pè kọ́ àwọn waste paper mi ṣé àwọn kókó lé tó pọ̀ tó yìí nǹkan tí mo ti send látànà ló ṣe wà ń print anyway a máa raise owó lọ́la so máa ra printing paper mi fi lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ ìdílé sèmi náà lọ archive ilé wọn ni lọ́wọ́ yeah so that is the confab. That's what I'm reading right now. So 1,000 illegal routes in Nigeria, giving insurgents and other groups escape routes into Cameroon, Chad, and Niger. So the question you should ask yourself is, if somebody commits a crime now, they can easily leave Nigeria while you and me, we are crying because the person that perpetrated the crime has left. Call on phone, okay, the young girl that died, that was stabbed, beautiful princess, 15 years old. It was just under 17 minutes. Imagine if the young man had a way to escape with an illegal route. He would have done so. Last week, a week ago, the guy that escaped from the prison, because there was more security that was drafted to all bring back from everywhere. Though it took about a few days, but they pinned him down. Because why? Because security is important. Today, the reason why people are being kidnapped and killed and ransom are paid, as I speak to you right now, a video was sent to me, we can't even post it. What shower lockman? This happened in Abuja. I want to consummate by Adalo Fisher, Bubu and by. Oh, Lori status me Lori, studio line me. I think I posted it on my hold on, put the other number, me Lori, I won't quantity. This is Lagos, this is Abuja. This happened in Abuja. This is not last year. I'm talking about something that just happened a few days ago. This week, not last week. If this is happening in Nigeria on a daily basis, the question we should ask ourselves is why? Because we have 1,000 illegal routes. Let's move swiftly. The committee now recommend as follows. The question is, when this recommendation was given, I picked up another headline from Vanguard of 2000 date article. I saw the date there. Well, if I don't see the date, but the headline was, why I couldn't implement the 2014 confab. Good luck, Ebele Jonathan. Why did he not put this implementation? I'll read that, but we must first read the confab before we read Jonathan's reason. Why Jonathan did not do so? Why did Buhari not do so? Buhari left the confab document. This document, kept it somewhere, throw it away, say, bomb bastard Jonathan Uloshi. Me, I be Fulani, man, make I can't secure all the routes where my Fulani people, they come into the country. Let's hope Jagaban will take this confab and work with it. I don't know. I'm not a spokesman. The committee recommends as follows. They started with census and the national database. I'm sure everybody knows the meaning of census. Census means that how many are we in Nigeria? We want to know each local government. Database. This country, my fingerprint is with the British government. If I commit a crime anywhere, as long as they don't find my fingerprint at that crime scene, they will pick me up. They will know that it is me, Olayomi Koiki, Iwololo Jimotoye, because we're able to pin your fingerprint. Some of you might be saying, which one be this? Yeah, because if you're living in a country where they make sure that you want to be there, it's part of why you are to give your fingerprint. Why can't we do the same thing with all these criminals that are coming in? We would have taken their fingerprint. If they commit a crime, even if I run to another country, they will still pin me down because all the European countries have the same system. Africa do not have that system. And the reason is not that Africa does not have what it takes to produce and do the same thing that the West are doing. But when you have France dictating to Niger, the Bazoum was giving France reunion for 80 cents, and France was selling it for 200 euro. Do you see that? When Gabon, the Bongo Ali has been there and his father for more than 42 years, and they're the puppet to French, or France rather. How do you get the same kind of, landmark of what I've just said in security? Benin Republic will not be developed because it's in charge with France. That's the reason why Africa will continue to struggle, because some of your leaders, or some of our leaders, let me put it that way, are puppet to the West. In Tobani Koshilonshe. And I hope Tinubu is not going to be one of them. So this is now the committee recommend as follows. The National Identity Management Commission should be listed among the federal executive bodies in Section 1531 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Census should remain the exclusive legislative list. The maintenance of the entire machinery for data collection should be included in the current legislative list. Consequently, Part 1, Item 8 of the second schedule of the 1999 Constitution should be amended to read as follows: Census and enumeration of Nigerians. The national census exercise should be presided by the development of the full-scale integrated national database, which will include registrations of all settlements, including cities, towns, villages, hamlets, farmstead, registrations of all households. In my constituency here, and if there's any changes, I must inform the local government, because by informing the local government, they can also work to make sure that they add one more resources, because the household can't or to be money no be. So whatever we were before in that borough, to buy 10,000, the moment you're about to be more across the network of that borough and multiply by that number, okay, every day 30 people die. The council remove 30 from the list. That means 30 less problem. Then another 60 is born. They must now take care, Koiki Media backup team. They now have to also provide for more 30 people. Is that the same thing in Ikotun? Is that the same thing in Alimosho? Is that the same thing in all the local government? What board of man make sure they are protecting and adding more value? So the national census exercise should be presided by the development of the full-scale register information or data of citizens and immigrants in Nigeria. I am an immigrant in this country. My data is with the British government. Why don't we have the same process in Nigeria? It's because the system does not want it. If they have a good structured data to know who is coming in, who is coming out, you will not be scared of traveling to your local government from wherever you are in Nigeria. You can travel tonight. I love travel at night. Manchester. And okay, for me 1 hour, my daughter here, and them me driving here because I'm a drive, even though if you like Emmanuel, you won't like Emmanuel. If I drive 1.5 hours, to drive the dummy. We will start the journey at 1. I will pick it up and I will drive through to about 3 o'clock. Take over. In another maximum 1 hour more, we will arrive in Manchester. And we're going to be safe. Can you do the same thing tonight from Nigeria? Mukia Mititilala, sure, Ekalema. Now, Ashinka, the National Conference of 2014 in Maka, in case you're wondering what I'm reading, so, laws should be enacted to criminalize any attempt by census officials or members of the public to inflate. This is what the British did. They are now trying to say, oh, we must not allow that. But the British actually did this in 1959. They actually inflated the census. That is what we are still using in Nigeria. The North are not more than us. It is all fraud. This is what the British created. They told us that the northern part of Nigeria has the numbers. So you will continue to get census officials will be bribed, even if they want to do it. But they're saying that laws should be enacted to criminalize any attempt by census officials or members of the public that wants to inflate or distort in any way the outcome of the enumeration of the people and households in Nigeria. How do you differentiate different households when even some of those houses are not, people that live in face my face you? To supplement the existing legal framework, the integrated database. What do I mean by that? Or what do they mean by that? If I travel to Manchester tonight and we arrive there, we got there, our friend give us fufu and a fork because the wife is expecting us after the long drive, they don't prepare room or probably say, no, we'll go club, maybe go enjoy life. And then at the point I got to the club, my stomach started feeling uncomfortable. And before you know, heat don't boom me. They don't call emergency. The first thing emergency will do is to stabilize me. If they get me to stabilize, then because I'm still either talking or somebody's talking on my behalf, what's your name? They need my name and my date of birth for a purpose. You know why? They need to get access to my other record in London through my GP. Remember, it is still about 5 o'clock, I'm sorry. They can have access to that database. We do not have any kind of database. If anybody commit any crime anywhere in Nigeria today, nobody can pin it back to that person. So, to supplement the existing legal framework, the integrated database should include the records of the Nigerian Communication Commission. My phone number in this country, a little bit, relax. At least I've been to Dubai and I've been to Turkey. I have a bit of idea about those two places when it comes to telecommunication. They don't joke with it. You don't just go to Dubai and say, Mufera SIM card, or Mogbana Yoni. Who be you? I don't want to do by Montimonso. You just go to buy a SIM card. For every number that they issue out, they need to know that you are not a terrorist. In Nigeria, People just get numbers, they hack each other. So there's a lot of problems going on. So the Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC, which should provide telephone registration information. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSA, should provide information on driver license. But then license me okay. The moment I drive, okay, we are driving to Manchester, and for whatever reason, maybe we were going too fast, more than the normal speed limit. The plate number recognition with pick my vehicle that we're driving with Valata. If there's a need for, then there's another police that check the Amoyato Sinoma police in the area. These are motorway police. They will send a signal straight to their office. They know that there's no way I can come off that motorway. Then a police cop will be waiting for me in the front, and they'll put their flashlight. Mr. Park, where are you going? We're going Manchester. Do you know why we stopped you? You go no now because you don't drive very fast. Yeah, I think I know, officer. Okay. And this country, the moment we all up and wear his hat, or more forget more. No kind of any grammar you want. If you never put on because the reason that officer put on that cap is representing the royal family, the institution. They not born you well. You must respect that. Even if you be bad guy for this country, you must respect that uniform. All right. Can I see your license, please? And they are always two. They are very, very psychological people. The moment one is talking to you, the other is looking at the vehicle. Maybe get cocaine inside. They can start smelling, or they can start feeling the car. Have you been drinking? No, sir, I've been drinking. Okay. Can I have your license? They can take that license at that time in the morning, and they can verify that that license is confirmed, is not illegal. Is not fake, number one. That I've not been given a ban on my license. That they can check quickly from their vehicle. They don't have to go anywhere. They just, there's a code, you just bring it out. And when that is clear, they check the insurance, they check the MOT. Then I'll start asking you, blah, 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 blah. And what they will do right there, they'll issue a ticket. They don't have to talk with you. They don't have to argue with you. They issue a ticket, stay safe, bye. And if there's a need for them to detain you right there, you'll be detained. The question is, how many Nigerians are driving today, get driver license? Some of you now, the day club for Victoria Land, Ikoyi, they don't smoke Igbo, smoke cocaine. And they'll still drive that same vehicle back. Even if the journey is 10 minutes, the moment you are under the influence of alcohol, boom, you kill person and it's au revoir. So part of what they are saying is the Federal Road Safety, which provide information on driver license. State Ministry of Health, even Akeredolu run to Germany for his medical, which should give information on birth and death. Universal Basic Education Board should give information on school enrollment figures. The Immigration Service should provide information on passport holders and aliens. I love that word. Aliens coming in and out of the country. So they know that there's what they call aliens. Aliens are coming into Nigeria. The only time I hear about alien is people with UFO, where they go up and down. They say they know be UFO. I not say they be UFO. UFO, they're somewhere. They travel. So the same thing is happening in Nigeria. There's so many aliens. Yoruba are in this nation struggle to win, Professor Banji Akintoye said on Wednesday. Let's move swiftly. We're almost there. We're at number 7, page 11. Then I'm going to come back and add more people on the TikTok. It might be no, it's taking a bit of time. Other relevant bodies, including banks, federal and state civil service commission, trade unions, we're hoping that what is going to happen next week between Labour and Nigerian government will probably be resolved. If otherwise, indefinite strike kicks up on Tuesday. Let's move swiftly. All ties of government, federal, state, local government should maintain database. I'm asking Nigerians today, Do you think that your local government has the accurate database of you and your family? Because in this country, my local government have database of myself and my household. Is that the same thing in Nigeria with you? The National Population Commission, NPC, the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC. Without the NIMC, you cannot get a Nigerian passport now. I believe so, yeah. Because I remember when I came to UK, we were called to come and help them do publicity some few years back at Old Kent Road. The National Bureau of Statistics should be well funded and equipped with the state-of-the-art modern technology for the purpose of achieving accurate census figures and integrated database for Nigeria. There should be provision of national identification number and multiple purpose digital card with biometric information of all citizens above 18. This biometric is what we call BRP in UK. When you come in here, whether you're a student, they don't put any more like visa on your, when you're applying for student visa. I don't know whether for those of you that are coming with a normal 6-month visa, but if you're going to be here for long time as a student, you get a card. It's called BRP. You keep it very well. Don't lose it all. That has everything about you. So when you're stopped, you need it to apply for something, for a job or whatever, you put it out, you give it to them. It's called resident biometric. But as a Nigerian, you will not need that. But some countries in Europe also use the card. They don't need a passport. And we are now going to what they call digital wallet. The digital wallet is everything is just, digital. The world is moving very fast, swiftly. So the national identification card will similarly serve as voter's card. That way, you don't need to go out and let Emso Lomo and all the, sometimes they say, why do we reference Emso Lomo? He's the one that works for Tinubu now. Destroy the voting booth, kill people, pull out gun, blah, blah, blah. When the vote is coming up in this country, I like to go there. But I can't remember the last time my mom went out to vote. She just filled the form, free post, she sent it back, boom, her vote has counted. This can be done in Nigeria, but if they do this, you have accuracy, you have the kind of people that you want there. Maybe some of you will vote for Showore, but because they want it rigged, and they say go to court, they know when you go to court, there will never be any outcome. So, citizenship and dual citizenship, we are now 8 out of 11. Chapter 3, Section 26 of the 1999 Constitution should be amended to read, any person who is or has been married to a citizen of Nigeria. A bill should be introduced guaranteeing the granting of special immigrant status with full resident right to a non-Nigerian spouse of citizens of Nigeria who do not wish to acquire Nigerian citizenship. You can live in this country. Let me explain something. Not everybody has a British passport in this country, but you can still have a full resident permit called indefinite stay. The moment you have a British passport, you have now told the British government or the system that you have now become nationalized. So you go through a process, there's different process, but you have to, put an oath that you now have allegiance to that country. You will not betray that country, and you will not go against the values of that country. So many people as well is the same thing in other countries like America and Canada. That's why when people get those passports, they're so excited, especially countries that value the citizen, like America. America fought for 2 years to get 5 of their citizens out of Iran, even by returning $6 billion of Iran to seize. This all took place a few weeks ago, but it was 2 years negotiation. Imagine 5 American citizens. The government sacrificed. It was a transfer prisoner. They gave back the Iranian prisoner that was in America, while the one in Iran as well, Qatar, was the one that did this on behalf of the 2 countries. Those 2 countries never saw each other throughout the negotiation. America and Iran, another wahala. throughout the negotiation. They were in the same hotel, but they never saw each other. Interesting world we're living today. But you can tell that the American government was ready to sacrifice to get their citizen back. A young girl was killed. I'll put the word killed en route to UK. I'm sure some of you heard that story. A lot of Nigerians read the article, but you don't read the full extent of the story. It's very sad. She died on the, I think, Egyptian air. Let me get my fact right. Nigeria girl died en route to UK. A Nigerian student journeying from Lagos to London on board Egypt Air took a tragic turn when she reportedly fell sick. Remember I told you before this talk that I drove to Manchester. I don't chop before we won't go club. Vegetable, whatever. I reach club, my body, they sweat. Anything can happen. We are human beings. Anything can happen to us at any time, but there must be services ready to take care of you. These young, beautiful sister of ours, and you can pick this article by going to, just type young Nigerian died en route to London. What happened? It seems that they are hiding whatever led to that death of this girl. But let me quickly read that. This happened around on the 9th of September. This month, no one Shelley. Things they happen. But many Nigerians are already, the problem is because there's too much problem. Which one you won't talk about? Every day when you wake up. But when we are able to manage ourselves, the country is too big to be managed. Let's break it to smaller units so that we can be able to know who is who. Let's read this. Nigerian student en route to London. She was coming to study. Dies in Cairo. A Nigerian student journeying from Lagos to London on board Egypt Air took a tragic turn when she reportedly fell sick mid-flight and died at the hospital in Cairo. The family of the deceased, identified as Misoyo Remilekun Toyose, is now seeking answer. Shoyaki family do my seek answer. Where is the government? Where is the government? Should the family be the one? A family that is mourning their daughter? It took the family back to back to continue to, they were, I don't know about you, I don't know travel by Egypt Air. I know some countries I will never travel through that airline. Rather, I will just find whatever way to get to, Nigeria if I have to. There are some airlines, they are bomb bastard. Even before this new, I will never travel with some of those airlines. Because, you know why? You haven't asked me why. That your green, white, green passport is completely a disrespect. They will disrespect you. That is for if you're traveling with that passport. But if you're traveling with British passport, they don't know that you are from Nigeria. They will respect you. But sometimes they could be funny. I've had different cases. The ill-fate journey began on Monday as the lady departed the Muritala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos, hoping to reach a destination in London. She already died. The family did not know. They were asking the airline. They were phoning the airline, bomb bastard airline. They couldn't get through to the airline to tell them what happened to their daughter. You know why? Because the girl is a Nigerian citizen or beyond that because she be belong other countries. The family now have to phone the UK-based airline customer service. But because the call came through to London, from what I read on Twitter, now the London took a little bit of interest to it. But because they were communicating with the one in Egypt, it's Africa now. If you don't die, what do you want? No information, no nothing. According to the elder sister, Mrs. Oluwafumilola Olani Alabi, while narrating what happened, said the family had tried to call the airline customer care and other phone details on their website, but no response. A whole human being died. Right there and there, if we have a government of our own, if that government no tell the ambassador to come straight away and come and tell us what happened to our sister. But Nigeria is too big. Your president no get time. Commissioner Bikedabiri no get time. They are all busy. It is only when people start shouting on the social media, they have interest in that case because they are too busy. It is the family of the disease trying to find out what happened to their daughter. And you don't feel pity. You don't have human sympathy. And we're telling you this system is not working. And some of you will come here and be telling me nonsense. I say everybody go chop breakfast. So they've tried the airline customer care and all other phone details on their website, but no response throughout Wednesday. And that, when the call was answered, they quickly cut it. I think they happened. She said it was only once that a man answered the call that we put through to the Egypt Air Regional Office in London, because the office in London has a protocol. It is different from the crazy one in Africa. If I phone any customer service in Africa, the way they go respond to me is different from the one they were. Because this one, no, say, number one, for every call you're making in this country is recorded. I can request for that call transcript. They will give it to me. If they don't give it to me, I can pay £10 under Freedom of Information, FOI. And they have also 24 days to release that, even up to the British government offices. I've done so many of that. This is part of what we are saying. I don't want to live in a system where I cannot challenge it after living outside Nigeria. For somebody don't buy out for me. I think that one day expensive. Thank you so much. This is why we are saying nobody is fighting each other, but we are saying that the system presently does not help us. I know I've said so much about that family. It's a very touching story. Monique Olonko Foriji, sister Watokuyen. We hope things will change. The reason why I went to that particular one was because I was picking something there that says, from that bill, Tashinka, the confab, a bill should introduce blah, 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 section 29 of the Constitution. TikTok, and I know 3 people are waiting. I'm going to bring you in quickly. Should be repealed in view of the provision of section blah, blah, blah. As a means of promoting social citizenship, there is a need to make provision of social economic rights. Well, maybe if that had been implemented by Jonathan, maybe this, our sister, would have been used as the first example to tell any airline, any Nigerian travel with your airline, and they die, that airline will not come to Nigeria again. We'll shut it down. Government must be ready to defend the citizen. Is your government ready to defend you? At the point of death, be honest with yourself. America sacrificed $6 billion, returned back. It was the money they seized of Iranian money, Iran government. They seized the money some few years back. But because America needed 5 of their citizens back that are languishing in the prison of Iran, and Iran said, if you don't release our money and even our people there, you will not get your own. No problem. 2 years negotiation it took. And eventually, that negotiation was sorted out by Qatar, and the prisoner transfer took place. Thank you so much, those of you that are still with us. This is Koiki Media as we continue to enlighten and educate ourselves. Indigenous, settler. So when we talk about it, I've read so much about it. So let's talk about the border control. We are now at number 10 of page 11. Border control. The Nigerian government must ensure the strengthening of the country's land, air, and sea border. Do you know that we don't even know what is happening on the sea in Nigeria? We talk about the land, we talk about air, but do you know that there's so much activities happening on the water? From what we are told, Ilaje in Ondo State, they were moving crude oil for more than 10 years. I'm not joking. It's in the public domain. I'm not making this up. So the NIS should be reformed, retrained, and kit for better effectiveness in managing our land borders. Remember, I told you that 1,000 illegal routes over Nigeria. Some of you know that because some of you are also doing some kind of funny trade. You know, you don't want to go through the normal channel, you go through the back. The NIS needs to have a unit known as border guards. There's a country I saw their border, not Mexico and America, because that one, another border. I think it's all these European countries, Eastern European precisely. They're around gating the long fence because they don't want anybody to come through to their end. TikTok, internal display person, another very sad situation in Nigeria. How can Nigeria become refugee in their country? And they've been refugee for years. Government should increase the facilities for managing natural disaster. In the event that citizens are displaced due to no fault of theirs, water destroyed so many places last year. You know, we hope the flood situation will not do the same thing this year. But remember that I think it's the Cameroon that keep opening the dam, from what I'm told. I don't know. In the event that the citizens are displaced due to no fault of theirs, the government must be seen to adequately support recovery efforts of affected persons, including bringing to justice perpetrators of man-made displacement, refugee and asylum seekers. In this age of asymmetric conflict and international terrorism, the federal government must monitor more carefully those seeking refugee or asylum status in Nigeria. Do you know that other African countries are also seeking asylum in Nigeria? Refugees should be returned to their countries immediately the causes of their movement to Nigeria have been dealt with. In conclusion, the committee was able to address the thematic issues under its references and distill innovative recommendations for further consideration by the conference. Research, debate, persuasion were all employed in arriving at these recommendations without the need for division and voting. The committee secretary, Jide P. Akwadika, reporter, Obiamaka Araka, reporter, Kenechukwu Mabijugu, secretary, Oliver Inyanwu, Vapran, reporter. That's the committee secretary. And what I have just read to us in less than an hour is what we called the National Conference of 2014. Why did Jonathan not implement it? Let's read that article from Vanguard that says, why I couldn't implement the 2014 confab. Former President Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan has given an insight into why his administration was unable to implement recommendations contained in the report of the 2014 National Conference, which his administration commissioned. Jonathan offered his explanation at the public presentation of a book on 2014 National Conference titled The National Conversation, authored by Akpandian James and Sam Akpe in Abuja on Tuesday. The 2014 confab made far-reaching recommendations on issues many Nigerians believe had the potential of reducing, if not eliminating, some of the social, economic, security challenges currently being faced across the country. Some of the recommendations include devolution of power to the state in the areas of security and control of resources and other things. Jonathan's address was read at an event by the former Secretary to the Government of Federation, Anya Pius Anya. He said, when people say I should have implemented the report of the conference, this is Jonathan speaking, my feeling is either those people did not understand the political environment at the time. They played politics with our lives. They should have been. There was no Yoruba nation in 2014, but there are some people that are already agitating for certain things. 2014, maybe if they've implemented this, maybe some of us will not even be shouting today. But he said, some of you don't understand the feeling of the political environment at the time, the length of time it would take to implement the report of the conference like that, or they were just playing politics with such an important matter. Those who are familiar with the process of constitutional review will know that to implement the confab report, a number of alterations will be made in the constitution that they know that they cannot change, which will require the involvement of the National and the State Assembly. My TikTok is almost telling me I need to increase the power. So let me put my power bank like this so that we can continue. Okay. Laila. Elena, my charge girl, so I need to put it on a full charge. Power bank, your charge, Russia. Down. I know we're almost there. He said, when people say that I should implement the report of the conference, my feeling is either those people did not understand the political environment at the time, the length of time it would take to implement the report of a conference like that, or they were just playing politics with such an important matter. Those who are familiar with the process of the constitutional review will know that to implement the confab, this is the confab, a number of alterations will be made in the Constitution, which will require the involvement of the national and the state assemblies. Such an elaborate review will be termed impossible at the time, because at the time the report was submitted in August 2014, we were already on the verge of the 2015 election. It is also important to point out that at the time, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwa, who was a member of my party, People's Democratic Party, has already moved out with some of the members to join the opposition. So they were playing politics. The same politicians that were together that should have helped to implement this already moved to another party, Tambuwa as at the time. That meant that a reasonable part of the legislative was already anti-government. When you know that your parliament is under that kind of situation, it would have been impudent on my part to take such a previous document, which I consider crucial for development to a parliament that will not take it into consideration. Such a task will require the cooperation of the institution responsible for enacting of the new laws and the amendment of some existing ones. There was no way that it could have been done. We were also fully aware that the segment of our populations were already suspicious of the actions of the government. Our intentions would have been to misconstrue such against the backdrop of ECOWAS protocol on the constitutional reforms, which state that no substantial modification shall be made to electoral law of member states in the last 6 months before the election. When I contested the 2015 elections, my expectation was that I would win a second term, within which my period I will work on the implementation of the confab report with the 4-year mandate. My first 2 years have been dedicated to the implementation of the substantial part of the report. Koiki Media. My brother, Mr. Murphy, you're still with me. Munilati charge iPhone me. Let's bring Olamilekan in, and let's also bring Dennis back. I don't know whether Victor, I added you the last time again. You actually went back. Let's start with Mr. Murphy. You've listened carefully about Mute and Televan Wale. You've listened to the report I've read. Can you take in Lori while I have to get my phone charged? If not, I may continue programming. I bought this on it. This is Lori program. Hello. Oya ẹgbọ́n sókè ẹ ti gbọ́ gbogbo tí mo kà yẹn òyìnbó la fi ká gbogbo ẹ̀ bọ̀ ẹgbọ́n sókè kí lẹ rí nínú nǹkan tí mo kà yẹn.
Ó lọ fà gan.
Yẹn kó deep gan.
Ó lọ fà gan. And the big problem tó wà lórí ẹ̀ is like sharing tí mo ti explain fún yẹn nìkan lórí help wa because like last message they drop yẹn. Nígbà tí yàn tó unnecessary work lọ́wọ́. Oh shit, time where I lot on. Share understand why?
Yeah.
So one big people you to my word is like boy to my word another year.
And
Láti take care of àwọn iṣẹ́ tó yẹ kó ṣe tó ṣe ṣe pé àwọn people yìí wọ́n ti wà so all foolish gan wọ́n ti take wa be like wọ́n ti wò pé
wọ́n fi wá ta lúdò ní Nàìjíríà Ọlọ́run àwa la kọ bára wa jà lórí social media ẹ̀rí ìṣẹ̀bẹ̀rí wíkẹ́ tó ń dín dòdò àbí kí ló ń dín nínú kíṣìnì ẹ̀pọ̀ lùgbàjà bí àmì là àwa la kọ bára wa jà lórí social media pàdé ní gbogbo wọn ẹgbọ́n kan tó sọ ó ní Tambuwa left the party. Tambuwa was the speaker, House of Speaker. So if even if Jonathan wanted to implement it, 5 of the people will be the main party leader. They don't move to APC.
Wow. So what is the solution? Only choice.
So you can tell. Mr. Olamilekan, you're live with us. Please accept. I've done accept your request, and Mr. Victor, I've accepted. Mr. Olamilekan, you're welcome to the program, sir. Money last time, make charge of our Emma Solomon. Because we want to share. Emma Solomon.
Now?
question is that is he willingly to do it? Show Gogon wa willingly lastly implement the power. Willingly lastly implement the
the last message that brother. Simple I like to like simple I like to like my meditation more time. But time don't here time to say push share them. I also a go one party to want to start for the party.
Okay. But there are some projects Jonathan to willingly láti ṣe tó jẹ́ pé most of people that tọ́jọ́ wà ní power they did not allow him to do it. They did not allow him to do it.
Anybody who forward, I think I've met about him forward. Give me a replay.
ẹ má bínú èèyàn mi o mo lọ mú ta ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan àgbọ̀ra abẹ́yìn ta ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ àgbọ́yìn o ẹ má bínú mo lọ mú chájà lókè mi o. Hello Mr. Victor. Okay, what's the mute? All right. Momento sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ǹkan ọ̀dà pé Mr. Ọlámilékan ló sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ǹkan mo mọ̀ bí tẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ dé.
ẹ open Mr. Ọlámilékan ẹ open ẹ̀ka.
Àwọn náà lọ máa open ara wọn. I'll mute anybody. Ó yẹ ẹgbọ́n sókè Mr. Ọlámilékan. Ní láti máa ṣáájú. Ó yẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ là ń gbọ́ yín nísìn. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́wà lórí Ọláyọmí Koiki Instagram, a máa ní láti disconnect because a fẹ́ gba call. So ẹ máa láti lọ join Koiki Media. Ẹgbọ́n sókè chairman, ẹ má bínú èèyàn mi nìkan mọ́ adjust the phone èèyàn. So you might be seeing some moment. Ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ má worry mo gbọ́ yín. Mo ní láti adjust ẹ̀ ní kàn gbé sórí tripod. Ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ lọ Mr. Ọlámilékan yẹn má sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ má worry nípa tèmi ṣe. Ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ lọ ti. Ó ẹ̀kọ́ àgbọ́yìn o Mr. Ọlámilékan. Go ahead. Now my phone is charging now. Cause go charge it. All right, Mr. Ọlámilékan sọ̀rọ̀ àgbọ́yìn mọ́. Ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ lọ yẹn gbọ́yìn nísìnyẹ. Go ahead.
Okay. When solo tẹ́lẹ̀ mo there are some projects tó yẹ kó ṣe.
Yeah, Jonathan. Okay.
Most of these politicians in Nigeria, they did not allow him to do many of it.
Okay.
Wọ́n di lọ láti ṣe tó yẹ kó kò ṣe. Ara náà lélẹ́yìí. So
okay.
There are many.
So the question is, I I don't think Tinubu problem is this comfort because problem to why Tinubu work there. But if Tinubu continue up to the 2-3 years, after 3 years, Omar prepare for another election. Do you think that Tinubu will come back to this comfort to Wale at the second time? I don't think Tinubu is going to touch this in this first time.
Tinubu is not ready for this. All what is is crude oil, going to oil stuff, how to manage Nigeria oil, to get money from oil. Okay. And that's the reason why everything in Nigeria.
Okay. Because Kosovo now. Tinubu if you run Nigeria. So Kosovo Nigeria. To second loan. Second loan. So there's going to be he needs money to run the country.
Brother,
yeah.
I complain. See, let's take truth seriously. Now I'm complaining. Money kini ko to ba ma da. Kini ko ni ati ma re won loju to ba ma ba ni kale. ní fàárọ̀ ṣe pé ó ti ṣúọ̀ fún wa pé Tinubu zero ni seriously because ọ̀nà tó fi gbẹ́sẹ̀ rò pọ̀ gan. Now I complain nípa Buhari the last time. Buhari now ó fẹ́ ti bọ́dà. Ó kò dé òkú ti gbogbo bọ́dà without pé ní o ti jẹ́ ká ní oúnjẹ lọ́wọ́. Ẹni oúnjẹ ìlú wa ni ká máa jẹ, oúnjẹ country wa ni ká máa jẹ. Oúnjẹ country wa tí ò dáa. Oúnjẹ country wa tí wọ́n ti ṣe kalẹ̀ lẹ̀. Oúnjẹ tó gbé tàbá kọ́ bọ̀ láàrin 1 week a máa jẹ tán. Wàá jẹ́ ká kókó oúnjẹ wọlé dáadáa náà ká ní oúnjẹ ńlẹ̀ before kó tó lè sọ fún wa pé ó fẹ́ ti àwọn bọ́dà. It's the same thing. Òun náà lẹni tó jẹ́ èèyàn tiwa yìí náà tó ṣe. The same error tí ẹ ní òun náà lélẹ́yìí ti ní.
Error wo nìyẹn? Mo gbọ́ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ má bínú mo dìde lẹ́ẹ̀kan. Ẹ ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé error kan.
Yes, I complain nípa the first our president does.
But is it not too early? Is it not too early to complain about Tinubu? Because some people will say it's too early. That's my complaint about Tinubu.
Brother, try to understand what I said. I complain about Buhari.
Okay.
People are not see border.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buhari not on border wa.
Yeah.
Ó lọ́ọ̀kì bọ́dà wa nítorí pé ó ní a ní gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tá à lọ rà níta ẹ̀ nílé. Right?
Yeah. Ó ti bọ́dà wa pa bọ̀ ó ṣí ti nọ́ọ̀tì sílẹ̀. Mo gbádùn yín.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí n tiẹ̀ land. Let's assume pé ó tiẹ̀ lock gbogbo bọ́dà.
Okay.
Because of say ká lè máa jẹ oúnjẹ tí ó
ká lè máa produce nǹkan táwa náà ń fi máa jẹ, which is what the argument was.
Now ó náà ní àwọn nǹkan yẹn bó o jẹ́ ká prepare fún kalẹ̀ because the first one ẹni tí ẹ pè ní Dangote yìí ò nìkan náà lẹ́ni kó máa ṣe gbogbo nǹkan. And it's not easy for Dangote kó fún wa ní intelligence in a year.
Ó ti máa kọ̀ ní
complete ẹnìkan. Kó nìkan kó ṣàfù àyìn èyí ẹ̀ kò easy wá ti jẹ́ kó ṣiṣẹ́ kalẹ̀ lẹ̀ kó ti máa everybody ti prepare kalẹ̀ lẹ̀ fún oúnjẹ irú bọ́dà tó fẹ́ tì tábà ti wà wí ẹ̀ everybody ti máa ra nǹkan pamọ́ so tó máa ti bọ́dà ẹ̀ kò ní ní wa lára so ìgbà tó ṣe the last time gbogbo wa mọ̀ bí tá a ti bára wa gbogbo wa là ń ṣe pé a mọ̀ bí tá a padà Ọlọ́run àìmọye ẹni ló bọ́ sí the same thing now ló jẹ́ kí n sọ pé ní ojú tó bá máa bá ní kalẹ̀ kò ní fàárọ̀ ṣèpin eléyìí ti ń ṣèpin látọ̀dún tó ti bí ni gbogbo bí ìjọba ṣe hard tó bí gbogbo ẹ ṣe ń le tó nílùú yìí this is the first time látọjọ́ tí mo ti dé Nàìjíríà dọ́là wọ 1,000 plus.
But could it not be that because the accumulation of the problems òun ni Tinubu náà wá bá nísìn òun wá fẹ́ resolve it?
Brother, no. Is not the same. It's not the same. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó fi ń convince ara wa lélẹ̀. It's not the same.
Okay.
Nígbà tẹ́ni tó bá náà ló wà ṣé nígbà tó débẹ̀ ṣó yáwó àbí kò yáwó.
But ẹ rántí pé the country has been in a debt. The problem has been building up because.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ẹni debt ti wà tẹ́lẹ̀.
Yeah.
Ṣé wọ́n á san debt ni àbó tún gba debt?
Bàbá ló ṣe fẹ́ràn country tó bá ní owó. Ó ní ìdòwò náà.
Yeah, we have many ways. Boss, we have many ways to run this country.
Okay.
Like collect any money in outside. Tí gbogbo wa náà dẹ̀ mọ̀ láti ní ká ṣe borrow on like I mean many things tó lè tó ń fún wa lówó tá ń jẹ́ ní owó jáde in this country. Ó yá now látọjọ́ tó ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé owó ń jáde ṣe bí fún ẹ̀ ní gbogbo wa ń forí sí. Kí ẹ mọ company àwọn kí ló máa ń pè wọ́n yẹn mineral stone.
Mineral resources tàbí
àwọn tó máa ń fò.
Mo mọ̀.
Ṣé mo pé ní Tinubu ló wà in charge àwọn people yìí? Ṣé mo pé ibi tó ti ń rówó nìyẹn? How many people in Nigeria know about that?
All right. Those are the mineral resources. Yeah.
Ṣé mo yẹ tá à ń gain ẹ mo yẹ owó tó ń wọlé síbẹ̀ in a day?
Okay.
So now we have many ways we can make this money out. Wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ gbogbo náà mọ̀ wé yẹn. Ó yá
All right. Okay. All right. Let me help us. Let's go back to. I'm looking at the OEC. I talked about this all the time. It's like a statistic. It's a data that talks about different countries around the world. Our export. Our export in 2021, the total value of the Nigerian export was $57.7 billion. Our total import in Nigeria was 61.6 billion. What are the things that we import into Nigeria? Because this is where the pressure is. The country is not producing enough. We are consumer, but we are not producing. So let me go through some of what we are importing into Nigeria, and based on the record. The biggest thing that Nigeria imports as at 2021, and I can share the link for it here, Lori. I might not be able to share it on the TikTok because I'm on that phone. That might communicate with me. Mukiek Bomija Kolushola. Killing also, you can be request on any progress and upon, okay. All right, in response to Jack, Lushola response. All right, that's the link there. People that have been following me knows about the OEC. If you want to check it out yourself, you can just go to www.oec.world and you type Nigeria and you'll see all this breakdown. The biggest thing that we will Nigeria import is the refined petroleum, 18.13%. And the total value of that in money is $11 billion. $11 billion. The question is, why do we need to take crude oil found in Nigeria, found at least in the southeast and somewhere in the southwest? Because, why are we not refining that in Nigeria? Why do we need to take crude oil into container ship, drive it away? It takes 6 to 8 weeks for each of these containers to arrive in different destinations, depending on how far they're going. Let's find out what country, not which, what country help refine Nigeria crude oil. UK one. Which country do Nigeria refine their oil? No, Nigeria. What country help Nigeria refine the crude oil? Okay, that's the search I'm looking for. What country? There's so many. Okay, let me put it this way. Now, let's go to the refine. The thing with the Shokoto day for China. I will be taking refine. I talked about 18.3%. The total value is 11 billion. Now, let me give us the breakdown. If you have the, you're right, Mr. Utman. You've mentioned Belgium. You're right. I was going to talk about it now. Netherlands. Good better for our politicians. Netherlands is helping us to refine our petrol, the one way you take inside your generator, inside your car, whatever you're doing, to the value of 3.6 billion. Let's talk about Netherlands as a country. Netherlands, N-E-T. Netherlands as a country, the total population of the country called Netherlands that we are now taking our own crude oil to help us refine is 17.53 million. I hope people are, I hope you are adding this together. We take crude oil. The crude oil is in the ground. They suck it out. Instead of them to do it back in Nigeria and sell it to Nigerians and even sell it to African countries, we now take that natural resources, the crude oil itself, that dark, increment of the devil, that's what I call it. We now put it in a container, ship, big ship. We drive it to another country called Netherlands, where their population be 17 million. They go come help us refine it and return it back, and it's giving us the value of $3.6 billion. We go to Belgium. Belgium also, we import value of $1.7 billion of crude oil, of petrol refined from Belgium. Belgium. You know what in Belgium? Part of that is why they don't want Nigeria to work.
The right process.
Well, Tinubu has promised us that.
I want to transfer.
Yeah.
The people that are exporting this petrol stuff.
There'll be another.
There'll be
another cabal.
Countries of our partner. Only percentage.
Sherry, answer Repo. The shipping line itself is another cartel.
Sure. Of making money out of it.
The shipping line. Our waterways is another cartel. But let's focus on the crude oil. Mr. Continue to Baba continue for a few minutes. It's getting interesting. Belgium, the population of Belgium as of 2021 is 11.5 million. They are not even up to 12 million. And Nigeria, they're helping us to refine our crude oil because we be lazy people. We don't get job. We don't get refinery to the tune of 1.7 billion. UK, where me I did, this country where I did, they help us refine to the value of 760 million. That's about 6.4. Norway is helping us with about 1.2 billion at 10.7%. Italy is helping us with $417 million worth of refined petrol. So the question you must ask yourself is, all these countries I've mentioned so far, remember that there are some people that are doing the business. So the one way they want to use Italy, go use UK, maybe get relationship with UK. So they buy the crude oil in Nigeria, whether they steal it, I don't know, whatever they do with it, they move it to this country. Even United States is helping us. Malaysia is helping us at 303 million. Chinese Taipei is helping us to refine $219 million. Even Saudi Arabia is helping us to refine our crude oil. So they're not just taking us as Hajj alone. Refining. India is helping us at 992 million. South Korea, as of 1982, Nigeria should have surpassed South Korea. Turkey, known as Turkey, 183 million. China, United Arab Emirates, Angola is helping us. Cote d'Ivoire is helping us. Algeria is helping us. Niger is even helping us as well. Unbelievable. The same Niger, we say Ebola Tinubu flight compass, they go bring them down. Let me go to the new person that is in with us because we have done almost 3 hours and we are almost going to be coming out soon. It's okay, Mr. Smart. Ekalesa. Ekabosoleto no.
Ṣẹ́ni ọ̀rọ̀ ti tèmi ó máa kún ọ̀tọ̀ níbi tí mo ti fẹ́ gbé. Ṣẹ́ni gbogbo àwọn gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tá à ń pariwo yìí tó wà Nàìjíríà, àwọn politician tó wà Nàìjíríà, from the local to the federal, wàláì wọ́n mọ̀ kan tó yẹ kán ṣe. They know the right thing to do. They know the right thing. Gbogbo tá à ń sọ yìí, they know. Why are we having body? Kí ló ń pè ní government? They know. Àwọn tó ti jáde, tó ti travel out, tí wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé wọ́n mọ̀ nǹkan tí ó yẹ kí ìjọba ṣe. Wọ́n tó ń pè níjọba. Àwọn tó mọ̀, wọ́n tún mú àwọn náà sínú politics. They won't say anything. Wọ́n fi owó yẹn, wọ́n fi ń dí wọn lẹ́nu ni. Until àwọn tó jẹ́ Nigerians gangan. Orí wọn pé, ọpọlọ wọn pé, wọ́n dìde. They will do the right thing. kò sí school ọ̀fẹ́ owó tẹ̀ tún san ní school kí ló fi owó yẹn ṣe? Are we not paying money? À ń sanwó fún school kí ló fi owó school yẹn san? Tax ó kéré ni o, kò sí kan tó bá ra Nàìjíríà wàá san tax anywhere. Where is the money going to? A sì ń ya owó till now. Till now. Gbogbo àwọn tá a pè ní government kí ni iṣẹ́ wọn? Kí ni iṣẹ́ wọn? Kí ni iṣẹ́ wọn? Kí ni iṣẹ́ wọn? They know right thing. Wọ́n mọ̀ nǹkan tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe. Wọ́n mọ̀ nǹkan tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe. Ohun tó fi lè mú president tó yẹ kó nǹkan corrupt ni. Ṣé chairman local government kan lọ́wọ́ sọ pé òun ti tòun bá kan? Gbogbo ilé ìtàn sọ yìí wọ́n mọ̀ nǹkan tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, wọ́n mọ̀. Agenda bàbá Tinubu tó wà ń bẹ̀ yìí, agenda inú ẹ̀ ló máa ṣe torí ó tí wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé kò sẹ́yìn bọ̀ tó bá challenge wọn. Kò sí anybody tó máa challenge wọn. Tẹ́ ẹ bá challenge tẹ́ gbogbo ilé ìtàn kan complain tá a ṣe bá tẹ́ ohun tó ń jà fún báyìí tó máa ṣe wà lórí síìtì yẹn ló ń jà fún. Kò sí nǹkan tó kàn pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà o. Ohun tó máa ṣe wà lórí síìtì yẹn tó máa lo tẹ́nu ẹ̀ pé tó bá dọdún kẹjọ tó bá fẹ́ lọ tó bá fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ ohun tó wà lórí ẹ̀ nìyẹn. Ẹ gbàgbé nípa kan tó fẹ́ ṣe pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà. Ohun tó ń ṣe Nàìjíríà kì í ṣe èní. It's not today. Kì í ṣe èní ló ti nìkan tí
Mr. Murphy, I only have 20 more minutes. Program you only do 3 hours. Mr. Murphy.
Kì í ṣe èní.
All right.
Tá a bá kàn sọ pé tó máa ṣe báyìí tó máa ṣe bá tó máa ṣàwò kò sí kan tí wọ́n lè ṣe. Kò sí kan tí wọ́n lè ṣe. Ìlú yẹn ti bàjẹ́ jìnnà. Ju gbogbo tá à ń sọ yìí. Ìlú yẹn ti bàjẹ́ gan.
Let's come back. Few more comments. Comrade Plan B said Tinubu is wicked. He can't restructure anything. A man that is not even faithful in little things. Dizzy Man says, imagine in the 1990, the $1 is 10 and 2023. I got to take calls for the next few minutes. So I'll join Koiki Media to be able to enjoy the rest of the program. I just got 1 or 2 calls because people have been trying to call in the last few minutes. So let me pick calls just to balance the conversation because I have 20 minutes. Oh yeah, Bones, okay. About briefly. Sir.
Ayé ò ní gba òun lẹ́nu.
Aṣẹ́dé Mari.
Ojoojúmọ́ báyìí a máa gbóhùn ṣáá ni bá ṣe ń gbóhùn Olódùmarè.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Ṣé bàbá yìí lè ṣe anything? Ẹ jẹ́ káwọn ojútùú wa mọ̀ pé kò sí future rárá.
Okay.
In the next 8 years, tó máa lò yẹn kò sí future. Kán jẹ́ ká bọ́ ká wo ìgboro wòtòwòtò ẹni ánsà gbogbo tá à ń sọ yìí. Ẹ bá jà máa waste time ara wa bàbá mi kọ́ kí ẹ sọ tó bá àwọn boys pé kán jẹ́ ká wọ ìgboro ni. Kò sílùú tán ti ń gba kíní ẹlẹ́rọ̀. A máa wọ ìgboro níjẹ́ wọ́n wọ ìgboro lé àwọn Faransé ni. Ọ̀nà ìlú wọn ṣe ń wà òkè. Burkina Mali wọ́n lé wọn ni. So a máa lé Tinubu fún rẹ̀. Tinubu ara wọn ni Tinubu bàbá mi.
Okay.
Ara wọn ni Tinubu kò sí kan Tinubu kò sí Tinubu wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kò ṣe kan fáwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ni nígbà tí kò wà lọ́wọ́ Èkó ló ní Èkó. Kí ló ṣe sẹ́kọ̀ọ́? Ẹ wá sọ pé nígbà tí 38 àbí 36 mi mọ́ kí ni Nàìjíríà ń sè. Lẹ́wọ̀n ní kó wá ṣe nǹkan. Èèyàn ní Èkó wà ní ọwọ́ ẹ̀ báyìí. Ó lè ti gbogbo Èkó pa. Ó kó sí kọ́kọ́ náà. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ wá ní kó wá ṣe 36. Ó ló máa ṣe Òrìṣà, ló máa ṣe Anambra, ló máa ṣe Sókótó, ló máa ṣe Ìbàdàn, ló máa ṣe Ifẹ̀, ló máa ṣe ẹ má jà máa tara wa náà. Ẹ ti sọ ọ̀tọ̀ fún wa. Tinubu ó fẹ́ ṣe ọdún mẹ́jọ. Ó dẹ̀ tó máa tún pẹ́ lómi wọ́n ti ní plan ẹgbẹ́ ní kó ṣe lóhùn ló kọ́ náà rẹ̀ tó jẹ́ kó máa kàn gbà náà ti jókòó tó ti ń dúró pé kó ṣe tiẹ̀ tán. Left and right ní Fúlàní Yorùbá Yorùbá ó ṣẹ̀bọ́ sọ Yorùbá ni. Fúlàní ọ̀dọ́ ló máa tún padà sí ẹjọ́ tó rọ lọ́hùn kọ́njọ́ tó rọ lọ́hùn náà kọ́ wo fújọ àwọn ọmọ kọ́njọ́ tó rọ lọ́hùn ẹ̀bẹ̀ láńbẹ̀ àti ẹ̀bẹ̀ tó náà. Àwọn yóò ti wá ń ta 68 mo ti kó Nàìjíríà bí mo bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ yìí 68 àwọn yóò wà bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Kọ́njọ́ náà.
I'm sure we need to educate more so that people even know the reason why, we want the.
We are going now. So, perfect. Short message. Come on, quick. kọ́ máa fún àwọn èèyàn.
Okay.
Kò yẹ yín kò even kọ́ máa ṣe every week tó yẹ kó máa dáwọ́ ẹ̀ ni. Kò yẹ yín. Máa dáwọ́ ẹ̀ kọ́ máa ṣe kọ́ máa pín fáwọn dírẹ́fà àwọn ìyá ọlọ́jà his message. Òun náà dàbí wípé tí wọ́n bá ń send WhatsApp send CNN ni.
Okay.
Àwọn ìyá tó lè kà wọ́n á kà fún wọn, bàbá tó lè kà wọ́n á kà fún wọn.
Gbogbo ẹ̀ náà máa láti padà ní leaflet láti máa jáde ní gbogbo ìgbà, so hopefully we'll work on some few things.
Ẹgbẹ́ bàbá mi ẹ jẹ́ ká máa dáwọ́ àwọn boys wa ni. Ó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ṣe orí ètò máa ń ṣe Nàìjíríà tó pé wọ́n á ṣe newspaper wọ́n á gbé sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ títì. Wọ́n ṣe ní Europe bíi wọ́n máa ṣe newspaper wọ́n á gbé sí bus stop.
Ojoojúmọ́ ni pépà yìí ń jáde ní UK ojoojúmọ́ kí lè rò pé ó ṣe ń jáde lójoojúmọ́ ọgbọ́dọ̀ máa fún àwọn information ojoojúmọ́.
Wọ́n wà ní bus stop tẹ́lá tí ń jáde wọn máa fún lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ ní wọn ta.
Ojoojúmọ́ ni.
Information ni ó máa lọ gan, information ni wọ́n máa lọ. Nígbà ẹni tó kàdé tó jùlẹ̀ ẹlòmíì máa tún kó kí lélẹ́yìí. As far as the flag bàbá ti pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Mẹ́sẹ̀gì ni ó lọ dùgbà tó wà ní àwọn WhatsApp náà. Ẹ̀jọ̀ ìjẹ́ ká fi sí program.
Àṣìṣe lè lórí.
Káwọn yẹn lè understand because ṣé àwọn tó ń ní dátà lè máa ní kó máa wo program wọn tó rán sí.
Ó máa difficult.
Dátà àwọn fi bára wọn sọ̀rọ̀ ní ọmọ kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ìbúlò wa. Ìyá pẹ̀lú bàbá yóò ti tán.
Adé tó pa bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Àtúpá àdúgbò ẹ̀wọ̀ ibi mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ mo bá àwọn family sọ̀rọ̀ mo ní láti máa kọ̀dé mo láti charge fóònù màá tún pè kọ́ ọmọ ọ̀nà ẹ̀ àtúwọ̀ ọ̀nà ẹ̀ ókè máa pẹ́ ní 10 minutes tẹ́fẹ́ máa pẹ́ ní 10 minutes ó ti pa fóònù ó ti pa dátà. Ẹjọ́ tí ọlọ́ọ̀ jẹ́ ká fi sí program má dẹ̀ máa rán ilé tí lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan ó jẹ́ ká máa dá owó ẹ̀ ní àlè ìsìnkátà náà wà lè support àbí support.
Ẹjọ́. I think Eshigone Egwame Kens. Thank you so much, Mr. Uthman. You're right. Everybody's opinion will be different. There's no way. Many Nigerians still believe that there's still hope. Yawa Konfekin Lori Poland. We will work on that maybe in the next few days. So Poland is another interesting place. Let's just look at Poland. The population is just under 38 million. It's 37.75 million. The population growth is about minus 0.4 annually. Their GDP is about $679.4 billion US dollars as of 2021. When we look at the population, Germany is 83 million. Belarus is 9.34 million. Russia is 143 million. We are just about 13 minutes to the end of the program. So, the data and the statistics. Yoruba, wherever you are, whether in the southeast, in the northern part of Nigeria, we don't hate the north part of Nigeria. We just want to stand on our own and have our own separate, independent, and we can still be neighbors, with you guys. After the refined petroleum that we talked about as the biggest import to Nigeria in 2021, the next one is wheat. And wheat can be used for different things. 5.38%. The total value is $3.32 billion. All these is going to create strain in the Nigeria economy and as a country, because if we don't have farmers that can grow wheat, and we have to go and buy them to come to Nigeria to the tune of $3.3 billion, that is a hell of a money as well. So the question is, for 63 years, we couldn't transform all this beautiful land and grow wheat. What a very sad situation. The next one is the one that you guys love, which is your cars. Everybody like car, whether na second-hand, Tokumbo, Toyota, whatever, brand new, Jeep. Everybody just detach themselves, BMW, Jeep for Nigeria. And which country do wheat come from? It's good to know, is it? Let's click on that. Wow. It comes from that region because that region has a very good soil. Lithuania, 17.5%. That's about $582 million of wheat. Dunwalati, Lithuania. And Ukraine, Liberty one between Russia and Ukraine, 14.8% at $490 million. Koiki, what about the commodification cassava? What do you say about that? I heard somebody talk about that, was asking Bola Tinubu, Was it not America? Number one, kí ló ń pè ní cassava? Gbogbo alamọ tó ń pè ní cassava. I don't know what the man was trying to put out there, but what I say is that this government, if this government is going to be truthful to Nigerians, the first thing is, he has to stabilize the security. Many people need to go back to farming, produce more produce, because if we are importing much of what we are consuming from outside, is a big problem as well. So I might have to come and do a full program on that because I'm getting a little bit tired now. But I look into it, Mr. K. Brahim. I look into that as well. Once again, Murikolo on guest Milori TikTok. Russia is also, we are buying a lot of wheat from Russia at $493 million, 14.9%. Germany is also $150 million. Estonia, 114 million. Commodification of the Naira. Okay, somebody says the commodification of the Naira. All right, Mr. Emax Media. Canada. What other product? We talked about the cars. We buy a lot of cars. Our biggest import comes from the United States of America at about 68%. The total value of motor to wallet America lost in Nigeria is $1.6 billion as of 2021. 1.6 billion. The next country will be India. And I know India because Ibeletimangbe, Keke Napel, and all these motorcycles at about $132 million, 5.46%. Then China, Germany, Belgium, Canada, Panama, Mexico, and the UK. UK is not 34.2 million. Even Arab country, UAE, 132 million. South Korea, Chinese Taipei, South Korea, South Africa, Australia. Wow, I'm young motor a lot Australia. That's a long distance, man. Anyway, Morocco. Kilo 2 and maybe to get one of our biggest import to Nigeria in 2021. 1.58% after about more wheat, cars, refined petroleum, 1.58. Packaged medicament. Packaged medicaments. I think those are medicine, is it? That's what that means. India, 488 million at 50.3%. The next to that is China, 192 million. Then United Arab Emirates, Indonesia, Malaysia, Pakistan, Thailand, Egypt, Switzerland, UK. So, in the nutshell, the total of our imports to Nigeria in 2021 is 61.6 billion. The question is, can that be half? Is it possible? Yes or no? Can we stop importing half of this to country called Nigeria within the next 8 years, even if Tinubu is going to be there? Is it possible? So that the imports reduced to 30 billion instead of 61 billion. I don't even have the data for 2022 yet because that might probably be coming out anytime soon. I don't know whether that one is out yet, but I'm still working with the 2021 for some time now. So I might have to look at Kotisi 2022. I don't think there's a data yet for the 2022. So the focus is still 2021. It says, and I quote here, in 2021, Nigeria was the world's biggest exporter of cocoa shell at $8.56 million. This is now the overview, okay? Let's read the overview. In 2021, Nigeria was the number 30 economy in the world in terms of GDP, the number 52 in total export, the number 50 in the total import, the number 141 economy in terms of the GDP per capita, the number 126 most complex economy according to the Economic Complex Index. Yeah, Indian is known for the technology, definitely. Egbobenye. Number 126 most complex economy. One of the video I put out today, if you go back and watch it on YouTube, I talked about many Nigerians outside would love to invest in the property business. But you start that business, somebody pull down, and then at the end of the day, they say, ilẹ̀ tẹ́ kọ́lé sí yẹn, government máa gbà, and all kind of things goes wrong. And then totally pull the investors what billions of naira to invest in property business. So in terms of our export, the top export of Nigeria are crude petroleum at 41.8 billion. Petroleum gas, many Nigerians do not even know that. 8.52 billion. Special purpose ship. I'm sure you know what they need that. Àwọn kan tó lè gbé epo jáde, tó lè gbé gáàsì jáde, 1.25 billion. Cocoa beans, 779 million. Refined petroleum, 667 million. Exporting mostly to India is 9.7 billion. Spain, 6.7 billion. United States, 3.6 billion. France, 3.2 billion. China, 3.5 billion. Then import. The top import of Nigeria are refined petroleum, 11.3 billion. Then it goes to wheat. We talked about it. Wheat, 3.32 billion. Then cars, 2.4 billion. Nigerians love their cars. Packaged medicament, 972 million. Broadcasting equipment, 934 million. Importing mostly from China, 21.9 billion from India. Then in 2021, Nigeria was the world's biggest importer of synthetic filament tower. Can you mean filament tower? Let me go and look at that. Can I put there? Okay, no, go back. Can I put the filament? Filament tower. What's the meaning of that? Tower is a term used mostly for carbon, meaning an untwisted bundle of continuous filament. On the other hand, yarn is used mostly for fiberglass, usually meaning a twisted bundle of filament, not necessarily continuous. Filament come in various quality and form towers, and yarns of various size. Okay. Wow. What have you built by any sympathetic fiber? I'm sure some of you know what that is anyway, as well. All right, interesting. So in 2021, Nigeria was the world's biggest importer. Hey, I imported Wale to the tune of 110 million. Iguin and bovine hide. Iguin, E-G-U-I-N-E. Iguin. What's that? Iguin and bovine. Iguin and bovine. Rishi anyway for different things. Equidling and bovine. What does that mean? Animal terms and their proper usage. Bovine is a term relating to cattle. How you know that? Bovine hides. Bovine hides. H-I-D-E-S. Trade in equine and bovine hide represent 0.0013% of the total world trade. Equine and bovine hides are part of a raw hide and skin. Okay. Non-fur. They include different bovine hides, all bovine skins, other raw bovine hides. Okay. Leathers. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Victor. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, mo ti rí leather skin. Ọ̀gá o, Nigeria. So ní 2021, lára àwọn kan tá import nìyẹn. Wọ́n náà wà ní the biggest importer. So leather skin yẹn, òun náà kí ló wá tó òyìnbó yẹn pọ̀ tó yẹn? Equine and bovine hides. Kí ló dé tó òyìnbó yẹn pọ̀? Leather ń jẹ́ leather. Láwọn ẹ̀kọ́ dáhùn lórí irú. $56.8 million. Wow. My people, thank you so much for staying with me tonight. Other part of the cow, okay. Eshegon, Mr. Victor. Babawa Dennis, Eshegon for joining us. Thank you so much for every single one of you. I hope you've learned one or two things, just like I learned a lot. You know, even though I talk about OEC every day, but you can see that I learned two things that I've never been able to learn: the synthetic filament tower and the equine bovine eye, which stand for leather. Thank you so much to every one of you. And on that note, tomorrow, well, which is today, it will be probably in the evening, our fundraising is going to come up. Thank you so much, Mukibu. Enjoy the rest of the evening. I think some of you should now go and do your service in your night vigil. I've done mine here. I'm going to go and take a bit of rest. Baba Dennis, every sorrow, Katumalo, under a minute. All right, I'm going to let him bleed. So let me go and relax. You know, with this, my blood really don't take. So, I shall do my
so wọ́n ti jẹ́ kí oil bank yẹn kó kọ́fà gold mọ́lẹ̀ kó fi bò mọ́lẹ̀. Ìjọ tó bá bẹ̀ sí rate value of gold, ẹ rí i pé àṣírí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ people ló máa tú. So wọ́n máa mọ̀ yọ list gold kúrò lórí gbogbo kan tá à import. Tó bá release costs of import of gold per year, at times 10 ni tí wọ́n rí lówó epo. So owó yẹn ń wọlẹ̀. Kò jáde sí gbòòrò, ó ń wọlé ni. But bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni pé kágbá nation wa so ká lè manage gbogbo ìsọsíìtì tá a ní issue state. Kò sí state tó wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tí ò tó fún issue state láti develop ara wọn within shortest time. Ọlọ́run á fún wa ṣe. Ẹ̀kú ètò sà.
Thank you so much, Mr. Victor. They are controlling the gold in the north, and you're right. Mokiba Bawa Fab, export of the gold, is there somewhere. I know. You know, Tabalosino export section again with the export crude oil, not the biggest, you know, that takes out. Tabadelosi Mufe Obiama gold in the raw aluminium, only 243 million of value. Refined copper, 90 million. This is not export. Raw copper, 55 million. Scrap aluminium, 21 million. Other metal, 42 million. Aluminium can, 7 million. Scrap iron, $6 million. Vegetable. All right. But today, I gold in let's say so what? Jacob was okay. Hey, gold lele. I just can so I want to see one gold in lower. Ìlú méjì péré màrí níbì kẹ́. The value of the gold is United Arab Emirates, Lora, $144 million at 91.6%. Then Switzerland, 8.1% to the value of $12 million. So gbogbo tó value gold wa tá export. Only down politicians.
Because the UAE ṣe bò mọ́lẹ̀. Tábàdé UAE wọ́n ní Nigeria gold factory níbí báyìí.
Okay.
So wọ́n ní bí estate ni. Nigeria gold.
So gbogbo export value gold wa ní 2021 kò wọ $200 million.
Àṣé tí wọ́n bá value ẹ̀ kó jáde sí gbòòrò. Kì í sọ̀rọ̀ 90%.
So what reduce yẹn?
Wọ́n reduce ẹ̀ pátápátá to the barely minimum. So káwọn èèyàn má bàa fojú sí ibẹ̀. Ṣé UK ní gold tó wà ní UK bó náà ti ń rí? Chinese gold tó wà ní China bó náà ti ń rí? Káàkiri bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń gbé ní ìjáde rọ́ọ̀mù ni wọn ò ṣe.
Mo ní evidence mo ní evidence kan lọ́wọ́ tó wà lórí fóònù mi.
So ọmọ kan tí wọ́n ń ṣe náà fi divert wa sórí ọ̀rọ̀ epo náà is just a minor things. Epo kò sí resources kankan lórí epo mọ́. Olódẹ̀ bá ẹ̀kọ́ náà níjọ́ tó bá gbé Nàìjíríà economy kò lórí epo lè ní kó gbé sórí gold. Pé náírà wà steady as tabai kò ní máa ṣèkì mọ́.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Mo kí gbogbo ọlẹ́ẹ̀kan sí oorun rẹ̀ lánàá sùn, and on that note, a very good night. I can't tell more nígbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ program, so let me just kick that in before we go tonight. Mo kí gbogbo ọlẹ́ẹ̀kan sí for spending the evening with us on this particular program where we educate ourselves again. I'll leave Nigerians to decide themselves, but the Yoruba people, as Baba Akintoye say, we are in this struggle to win. Because they're purposely not recorded. You know, one month shape, they're purposely not recorded. Muki Yawa Morufat. Thank you so much, everyone, and a very blessed weekend ahead. Muki Bugwale and Consume Yoruba Nation for life. Let's play the anthem and then we move.
Every moment.
Thank you so much, everyone. Yoruba movement. The Sipo. Awani Imale. Obadilawo. To all the silent listeners, a very good night. I know you are there. Bye for now.